You know it's this. Take a perk and a talk of that shit. Money swallowing like sis. Did it perfect in the kid. Got a billion who sang on my head. Look up better put on the road I just spent. I know we got $1 million. The devil that shit ain't not cheaper again.
Hello and welcome back, fellow anime lovers, to MangaMuse. I am delighted to have you join us once again in the world of fanfiction and fantasy. This is the second part of What If Naruto Enters Helluva Boss? Special note, this fanfic is written and a masterpiece of KFB Anime 87 on FANFICTIONnet. Do check and support the author too. Now smash the like, share and subscribe button for more. Also press the bell icon so that you never miss such great parts. Thanks for the introduction. Now let's dive into the world. Earth. Blitzo was growling trying to reach for Naruto but couldn't as Naruto had him wrapped in his tails. So have you calmed down yet? 'Cause if not I'll just keep you here like this while I talk about all the things I'm gonna do to Loona when we get back, he told Blitzo boredly. Got a kid? Millie said as she pointed to the sack on her back after having knocking one out. Bleh, one you need better material as your fur reeks, too is it the right kid? Blitzo said. Don't know you left the paper in the office. Let's just bring him there and confirm it, Naruto suggested. You can't just bring a living person into hell can you? Blitzo asked. Probably not but we need to confirm if it's him and he hasn't seen us. If it is, we kill him. If not, we bring him back before he's seen us. Naruto said. I'm okay with that. Millie said with a smile. Oh fine. Call Loona to bring us back. Seeing as I can't reach my phone with your tails binding me. Blitzo said. You better not be getting off on this, Naruto said as he grabbed his phone. Of course not, your tails aren't rope, Blitzo said. I know they're better. Millie said with a grin. Too furry for my liking. Blitzo said. Yeah, you'd prefer them with feathers. Millie said. Touché, I mean of course not. Blitzo said before the portal opened and he yelled as he was flung through before Naruto and Millie followed through. In hell. You brought a human back. Loona said. Thank Mr. Bird FTSH because he forgot the paper. Naruto said with a blank face. Are you kidding me, Blitz? She shouted. What? If he didn't distract me by kissing you I probably would have brought it. Blitzo said. No you wouldn't. The three told him in sync. Where's the paper? Millie asked. It's right here, Loona said, holding it up. Naruto opened the bag up and pulled the unconscious kid out. Loona, take a picture to send to the client, Millie said. Good idea, Loona said as she took a picture with her phone. Ugh, what smells like 3-week-old ramen, the boy groaned as he woke up. Naruto lifted his tails to his face and smelled them. Where am I, a kiss convention? The boy asked as he looked around. I wish. Naruto said. You would like that old SHT, the boy said. Naruto said with a shrug. He means the rock band Sweetie, Millie said. I know. Naruto said, simply remembering Octavia introducing him to some rock music. What the heck is that, a possum wearing a suit? The kid said, looking at Blitzo. Naruto and Loona barked laughing at this while Millie giggled. In what shape or form do I resemble a possum? Blitzo asked. The better question is, where don't you resemble a possum? Loona chuckled. What's with the furry? The boy asked, looking at Loona. The F you call me, Loona yelled. This kid does have a mouth, Naruto muttered. You got that right, sweetie, Millie said. I figured her for a SLT, but what's with the whiskers, dude? Trying to be the PP in your relationship? The boy told the two. Okay, that's it, I'm killing you, Naruto said, raising his tails. Not until we get confirmation it's him, Blitzo said. He's seen our faces, he's gonna have to die anyways. Naruto pointed out. Loona looked at her phone and smirked. Oh, it's him, and get this, the client said if we record the killing for him he will triple our pay, she said. Blitzo chuckled as he got his camera and got it ready. Suddenly orange blurs went around the boy before he suddenly fell into pieces. "Hey! You got BLD on me," Blitzo yelled looking at his once black suit. "Better than having that ear in your pocket," Loona said. Blitzo reached into his chest pocket and pulled out a human ear. "Ah, ew, gross. At least I'm not hearing things from it," he said. "Boo," the trio said, giving his pun 2 thumbs down. "Well, that was fun. What should we do now?" Naruto asked Millie and Loona. "I've got a few ideas," Loona told him. "No," Blitzo said, waving the ear around the two. "Hey look, it's Prince Stola's," Millie shouted, winking at Naruto and Loona. "Where?" he asked, turning around. When he didn't see Stola's, he turned back around and saw Loona walking away with Naruto. "No!" he shouted, going to chase after them. Millie shot Blitzo with a tranquilizer dart which caused him to fall flat on his face. "Thanks darlin'," Naruto said as he left with Loona. "You owe me sweetie," Millie said with a smile. "No dash dot," Blitzo said weakly before getting shot with another dart before getting hit with another for good measure. Millie skipped happily out of the room and headed out to joy ride in Naruto's car. Loona and Naruto. "So what do you want to do?" Naruto asked with a smile. "Wait, you actually want a date before we get physical?" Loona asked with a quirked eyebrow. "While I would love to ride you like AB, I prefer to know the women I sleep with a little first." "Well, I'd like to learn how to ride a motorcycle," the hellhound stated. "Got plenty back home for you to pick from," Naruto said with a smile. "Wait, you're giving me one?" she asked, surprised. "I don't know what's in it for me," Naruto asked with a smirk. Loona growled lustfully, her tail wagging wildly. Naruto chuckled at this. "Come on, let's go pick my girl out a bike," he said. Loona followed him blushing as he wrapped an arm around her shoulders. "Hey babe, let me do something," Naruto said as he took out his phone. "Strike a pose," he said as he readied his phone to take a picture of Loona. Loona smirked and threw her hair back and struck a CC pose for Naruto. Naruto took the pic and sent it to Verosika and smiled as he instantly got a message back. "A hellhound? And a CC one too. I approve. Make that be Howl," the message from Verosika said. "She's also Blitzo's adopted daughter," Naruto sent. "Oh god, that's just gravy. LMFAO. Film you two going at it and send it to me." "No problem babe, hugs and kisses," Naruto texted to Verosika as he put away his phone and put his arm around Loona. "My first girlfriend approves of you," he said with a smile. Loona smiled at this and hugged Naruto close to her as her tail wagged. Few hours later, Loona cheered and howled as she rode her new motorcycle with Naruto on his own motorcycle. "Ride that bike like I'll ride you babe," Naruto told her, making her swerve a bit. They passed a biker bar and Loona ran over a parked motorcycle, causing her to stop. Naruto stopped his bike and ran to Loona. "You okay?" he asked as he looked her over. "I just ran over another motorcycle, that was awesome," Loona said. Naruto laughed at this, liking this attitude. "Hey B, you ran over my ride," a massive demon in a biker outfit yelled. "Yeah I did, got a problem with it?" Loona said with a grin. The biker threw a punch that Naruto blocked before flicking his wrist, snapping the wrist of the demon biker. "You know, I'm on a date with a hot bee, so how's about this? I've already broken your wrist in 3 places. You can either walk away now, or I can break every single bone in your body. What do you want to pick?" "Please pick the fun option," he grinned maliciously. "Hey, those mutts are attacking our boss," another biker demon yelled, leading a group of biker demons outside. "Looks like bad odds," Loona said. "Yeah, for them," Naruto said with a grin. The biker demons all grabbed some chains and lead pipes and charged at them. 1 hour later, the biker demons were all torn apart, leaving carnage all over the area with gore and BLD everywhere. Loona panted in sheer excitement. One demon tried moving only to get his head smashed by her foot. Hell yeah, who's next? She yelled. That was hot, Naruto told her. Hell yeah it was, Loona said as she looked at Naruto and panted. So where to next my wolf beauty? He asked. Your place, I wanna have you ride me like that motorcycle, she told him, repeating his earlier words. Maybe a shower first, I want you clean before we get dirty, Naruto told her with a smirk. Loona looked at herself, seeing she had blood in her fur and her clothes. Naruto's penthouse some time later. Loona sighed in bliss as she let the hot water of Naruto's shower wash the blood from her body. When she entered his place, she was shocked by two things. His ridiculously huge penthouse and the pictures of him with Verosika Mayday. Including several of them banging in F. Her exact words were, "You're dating Verosika Mayday." Very eloquent. The bathroom door opens and out comes Looma wearing a bathrobe, seeing Naruto laying on the bed primed and ready for her, revealing his massive PP before her eyes. Ready to get wild, babe? He smirked at her. Loona grinned as she slipped the robe off and slowly walked toward him before crawling over his body. Naruto smiled before the two began to make out as he put his hands on her peach. Grpng, her bodacious peach, firmly making her into the kiss. Naruto mentally smirked as he could feel her tail wagging. He then gave her peach a smack, making her against his lips. Can't wait to see this jiggling while I plow you, but in the meantime I've got something you can lick, he told Loona as he sat up, gesturing to his throbbing PP. Loona smirked and slowly got on her knees, kissing and liking his chest as she made his way to his PP. Whoa, she muttered, seeing its size. It looked way bigger up close. Now be a good wolf and get to work, Naruto said with a grin. Loona began to slide his PP and lick and SCK on his ball before taking his PP into her mouth. That's right, service your alpha. He lustfully growled out. She with his PP still in her mouth. Tonguing his PP in utter bliss. Naruto petted her head before his tails moved, smacking her peach, watching it jiggle. Yeah, hit me harder. She growled lustfully. Naruto quirked an eyebrow, grinning before the ends of his tails glowed red before smacking her peach again. Aw. 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 She at the rough slap, smacking her peach over and over again. You know you love it, B. He told her while sending another slap to her peach, making it jiggle and wobble. Loona picked up the pace, eating his PP, desperately wanting to taste his juices for herself. Naruto grunted as he grabbed her head and kept her in place as he began to leak down her throat. Take it, B. Don't you waste a drop. He shouted as he leaked into her throat, making her GG from the sheer amount. Loona as she tried to eat it all, shivering in lust just from the taste. Good girl, Naruto said as he patted her on the head like a pet. Loona's tail wagged at this as she let her tongue out, panting, showing she ate his juices. You can take the lead for the next round since you're such a good girl, Naruto said with a smirk. Loona pushed Naruto onto his back on the bed and straddled his PP with her wet PP. I'm surprised you didn't pick doggy style, he told her with a smirk. We have all night. Alpha, Loona panted as she rubbed her PP on his PP. While I love that title, I have something else I want you to call me in front of Blitz, he told her. Loona quirked an eyebrow at this, curious at what her mate had planned. When we next see him, call me daddy in front of him, he told her with a malicious smirk. He was gonna enjoy the look on Blitz's face at that immensely. Loona smirked as this and leaned forward and liked Naruto's chest as she impaled herself on his pages. Ah! Loona cried out, having her version PP penetrated by Naruto's massive girthy PP. Can't believe you're a version with how hot you are, Naruto growled as he grabbed her by her curvy peach. Idiots were always afraid I'd eat them in the orphanage, before Blitz adopted me. And after that you've seen how Blitz acts around guys near me, she said as she adjusted to his length before she fully started to bounce on his PP slowly. Yeah, bounce on that F pages, Naruto said, slapping her peach, making it jiggle. Loona growled lustfully as she started to pick up the pace, bouncing on his PP, making her melons jiggle with each bounce. Naruto grinned as he could feel her tail smacking one of his wildly. Loona threw her head back and howled in bliss as her tongue hung from her mouth as she panted. "That's a great look on you. Maybe we should send that as a pic to Blitz-Looney," he smirked, calling her Blitzo's nickname for her. Loona barely heard what he said as she was focused on riding his PP like the wild hellhound she was. Naruto leaned up and pulled her into a makeout session. Loona screamed into his lips as she felt himself explode ins of her before she pulled back, panting slightly. "You haven't leaked yet?" Naruto groaned as he looked into her eyes. "And you're still hard. So get back to work FURB," Loona said as she liked his cheek affectionately. "With pleasure," he told the hellhound as he rocked her on his PP some more. Soon Loona was ridding Naruto reverse cowgirl style, panting hard as his PP stretched her out. Naruto grunted as he held his peach cheeks, helping her bounce on his PP. "Am I doing good, Alpha?" Loona as she looked over her shoulder at Naruto. "Yeah, you're a good girl," Naruto growled as he felt her PP get tighter from his praise. Soon Naruto had her in the mating press position and was pinding into her like an animal. "Ah! Ah! Oh woo woo!" Loona howled in pleasure as she clawed at Naruto's back as she clinksed HRD on his PP. Naruto yelled as he clinksed ins the hellhound B. Naruto fell forward and placed his forehead on Loona's forehead. The two animal lovers looked into each other's eyes, panting from their CLMX. Lana leaned forward and liked Naruto's cheek affectionately. "You're mine," Naruto's panted as he flipped Loona onto her hands and knees and used one of his tails to get out something from his dresser. Many hours later, Blitzo snickered as he climbed up the side of Naruto's penthouse with his camera. "This next video will make me a lot more money," Blitzo said as he heard some slaps and coming Naruto's bedroom window. He got to the window before gasping at what he saw. Loona was on her hands and knees on Naruto's bed. She was panting like AB in heat as Naruto was thirsting into her from behind while holding a chain leash which was connected to her dog collar. "Tell me who I am," Naruto growled as he smacked her peach hard with his free hand as he thirsted into her. "Ah, you're my daddy now," Loona before Naruto slapped her peach again. "I'm not just your daddy, I'm your Alpha." Naruto growls, speeding up and increasing the intensity of his THRSTS, hitting even deeper into Loona's stuffed PP and making her peach ripple with each move. "Yes, you're my Alpha, I'm sorry for not calling you that." "Oh woo woo." Loona screams in complete joy as she clinks skirting all over Naruto's PP as he also erupts in her as a result of her PP tightening and her walls undulating as they try to milk him of his juices. After 2 splurts, Loona's abdomen had a slight bump to it. And Naruto's juice began to seep out around the edge of his PP and Loona's PP as it overflowed due to the sheer amount of jizz he was emptying into her. Naruto looked over at his window, seeing a pissed-off Blitzo smacking his window trying to break it. All Naruto did was grin and give him the middle finger before getting back to work on Loona. "Ah!" Loona shouted as she felt him enter her peach, taking her black cherry as well. Naruto grinned as he glanced back at Blitzo, glad he set up seals on his penthouse as no matter what Blitzo tried he couldn't break in, and the adopted father was just forced to watch as he plowed his adopted daughter into oblivion. He saw Blitzo scream, though they can't hear him but he can hear them, and headbutt the window before seeing his eyes roll as he fell off the windowsill. Naruto then looked to his radio on his counter before he pressed it, turning it on with his tails and cracked up the volume. "Play Boots bass, shake that peach B." Blitzo got up and growled as he glared at Naruto's bedroom window. He grabbed a brick and threw it at the window, but it bounced off and nailed him in the head and nearly fell off the ledge before catching himself. He tried explosives, rocks, he even used his gun, but it bounced back and hit his arm. "Get on, Alpha. Ride me like AB." He heard Loona howl, and when he looked he saw his daughter twerking her peach on his PP. He then tried his van but only succeeded in wrecking it after he drove it into the window after ramping it off a convenient ramp. He groaned as he laid on the ground feeling defeated. Suddenly Millie skipped past him and grabbed his camera before going to the door and entered the penthouse. "Hey, He yelled as he ran into the slammed door. He said as the door slammed on his tail. Jesus F. Christ, that hurt, he screamed as he yanked his tail out. With Naruto. Naruto was panting as he continued to F Loona's peach. Don't you dare stop, you PP. Loona yelled as she looked at him over her shoulder. Naruto growled as his eyes glowed red and he started to PND her peach with even fiercer THRSTS. Now that's no way to talk to our man, Millie said, getting their attention, and they saw Millie, who had a camera. Is that Blitzo's camera? Loona asked. Yup. Millie answered, holding it and zooming in on Loona. Naruto smirked at this and pulled on Loona's leash and leaned forward to whisper to her. What you think, Looney, wanna make a movie? He asked as he nibbled on her ear lightly. Loona whimpered at this, but her tail was still wagging. I also grabbed the keys to his van, but he crashed it into your penthouse. Millie said with a giggle as she spun Blitzo's keys on her hand. Nice, now let's make a porno so outrageous we'll be swimming in the money we get. Naruto said with a grin. Loona gasped as Naruto F her with renewed vigor like he wasn't even winded. He's gonna break me, she thought in realization as she felt her mind breaking. All Loona could do was throw her head back and arch her body. AWWWOO, the hellhound howled in complete orgasmic bliss as she glimpsed. This sent countless electrical jolts of pleasure shooting up spine, causing her whole body to spasm and her peach to tighten around Naruto's PP. 12 hours later. Holy SHT, this battery is good. Millie said as the camera was still filming. Loona at this point was just a panting weak body underneath Naruto, who continued thirsting into her peach. Should get her a collar with your name on it, baby. Millie giggled out at Loona's juice-drunk expression. Naruto roared as he leaked ins Loona one last time, looking down at her as her stomach was bulging, filled to the brim with his juices. Geez, you may have put a pup or two in her with all that jizz. Millie said, zooming in on Loona's expanded stomach. Naruto grinned as he took the camera and put it in Loona's face, who weakly held up 2 fingers before she passed out. A 12-hour-long F-a-thon, how much money do you see us getting from it? Millie asked. Part of me thinks we should keep it for ourselves. After all, we have plenty of money as is. Might as well start up our own private video collection, he told the imp woman. And if Blitzo uploads it? Millie asked. Then he'll have the acknowledgement that he put a PWN video of his own daughter on the internet, Naruto said with a chuckle. Is that the only reason? Millie asked. Okay, as much as I love messing with him, I wouldn't mess with him that bad by posting his daughter in PWN. F her in front of him? Absolutely, but posting it nah. They'd both be mocked for it. He explained. Aw, you do care, Millie said with a smile. Besides, if anything, Verosika will set us up something for all of us to post, he pointed out, more like a knowing fact that she will do it, and her media presence would make sure no one would mock them. Think he's had enough? Millie asked, talking about Blitzo, who was probably still outside, probably brain dead from all that Naruto did to Loona. Him and Loona. Naruto said as he pet Loona, who unconsciously nuzzled into his hand. Naruto got dressed and opened his door and saw Blitzo just drop at his feet. Morning, clown, he said as he pushed him off his feet. You defiled my baby. Blitzo yelled weakly, getting to his feet and pulled out his pistol. 12 hours plus some more straight, my love wolf has got stamina, oh woo. Naruto said with a chuckle. Blitzo fired at Naruto, who caught the bullet with his hand. Nice try, he said with a grin. Can I have my keys back? Blitzo asked. Oh sure, I'll even pay for repairs on it, Naruto said as he tossed him his keys. Really? Blitzo asked as he caught them. I put you through enough, Dad, Naruto said with a shrug and a smirk. Do not call me that. Blitzo growled. Should I call you the circus reject? Naruto said with a snicker. Dad will be fine, Blitzo sighed as they both left the penthouse. By Blitzo the Great. Naruto said with a laugh. Oh Satan FDMN it, Blitzo sighed. Loona then opened a window. What was that? You were a circus clown, she said as she rubbed her eyes. Oh Satan double FDMNet. Blitzo shouted. Yep, Stolas told me he used to work at Lululand, Naruto told her. Oh Satan triple FDMNet. Blitzo shouted. Here's your camera back, you can post it or whatever. Millie said as she dropped it on Blitzo's head. And deleted, Blitzo yelled as he deleted the footage. That's cool, we already made a copy. Naruto said holding the film. Satan quadruple FDMNet. Hey Alpha. I'm hungry. Loona yelled at Naruto from the window. Alright, daddy's leaking. Naruto said snickering as he went back in to make Loona, Millie, and himself some food and maybe give Loona an extra helping of sausage. Satan F quintuple dammit. Later. What the F did you do to my van? Blitzo screamed as his van now had tiny MPP written on it. Oh relax, it will wash off after a week, Naruto said snickering. I thought you wanted me to use the permanent, Loona asked. Nah, he's family now, and despite what I say I love my daddy-in-law, Naruto said teasingly to Blitzo. Oops, Loona said as she held a can of permanent paint. You mean I'm stuck with that for the rest of my life? Blitzo shouted in horror. Just kidding. Loona said, ripping the label off to show it was fake. God, I hate you too, F, quit making me have to say that. Blitzo yelled. Well daddy-o, you can worry about that later, we got work to do. Naruto said as he patted Blitzo on the back, knocking him over. Please pick me up before I strangle you, Naruto. Blitzo growled, getting very irritated. Naruto wrapped his tails around Blitzo and carried him inside. Not what I meant. Blitzo grumbled. Inside the IMP building. Electric eels, really? Naruto asked Blitzo as they now had a tank filled with the eels in the main room. Yeah, plenty of places have fish, we'll have something that sets us apart, Blitzo said with a grin. That's fine, but why electric eels? And for that matter, where did you even get electric eels? Naruto asked as electric eels weren't easy to get a hold of. There was a sale on the internet. Blitzo said with a shrug. We're in hell. How did they even get eels from the topside? Naruto asked. I know a guy. Blitzo said simply. Correction, he blew a guy. Loona said snickering. Or he took it in the peach from a guy, Millie says with a smirk. I did not. Blitzo said. He then leaned back from the looks the trio were giving him. It was a HNDJB, Blitzo said defensively at their still unbelieving stares. Okay fine, I blew him. Are you three happy now? He shouted. Still grossed but pushing that aside, Loona baby, we got anyone for today? Naruto asked her. A former teacher is supposed to show up sometime today for her target request, Loona said. Huh, interesting. Wonder what she wants for payback. Naruto said aloud curiously. Get this, she used to be a kindergartner or first grade teacher before she snapped, killing her husband in a fit of rage. Loona said, reading her file. Naruto took it and looked at the picture of their client, whom she could teach me anytime, he said with a chuckle. Down boy, we can't F our clients. Blitzo said, taking the file from him. Says the guy F our business partner. He's technically a client. Just a higher tier 1. Naruto pointed out to Blitzo. He's got you there. Millie said with a shrug. Ugh, just make this place look good for our client before she shows up. Blitzo said as he headed for his office. Sure thing Dad, Naruto said smirking with a salute, making Loona and Millie giggle. Satan help me. Blitzo groaned as he entered his office. Few hours later. Naruto was sweeping up the floors, Loona was organizing files, and Millie was picking around the office, when a woman stepped into the office area. She had pinkish-purple skin, long white-gray hair, jutting curved horns, large E-cup melons, an athletic body, and a bubbly peach. Hello teacher. Naruto said with a whistle. The woman giggled as she fiddled with her hair. Naruto yelped as Blitzo tugged on his tails, causing Naruto to glare at the imp. Oh, I am so getting him back for that later, he thinks to himself, the beginnings of a plan forming in his mind, one that will involve Loona. Hello ma'am, right this way. Blitzo said, leading her into his office. Call me, Naruto mouthed to the teacher flirtatiously as she was brought into the office by Blitzo. If he ever does that again, remind me to kill him, he told Millie and Loona. You know, we could do other fun things as payback. Loona said sultrily to her alpha. Ooh, like what? Mess with his van again? Millie asked, getting a blowtorch from who knows where. Oh, I have an idea on what we can do forming in my mind, though I want to wait a little bit for a few things to fall into place before I initiate it, Naruto says with a predatory grin that sends a shiver down Millie and Loona's spines while also RSNG them a bit. Meanwhile, Naruto was thinking about a certain bit of news he got on his phone on the ride into the office this morning. Well, in the meantime we can mess with his van. Or we can mess around in his van. Loona pointed out, grinning lustfully. Unknown to them, Blitzo's alert for a deranged client was flashing on Loona's desk as the teacher was getting a little hot-headed during her explanation on why she wanted someone dead. Should we help him? Millie asked. No, part of the payback for pulling on my tails. Naruto said vindicatively. That's hot, Loona muttered. Suddenly a bullet came out of the room, making them duck before it hit the eel tank, making them get all over the place before they lit up, lighting the place up on fire. God damn it, Blitz. I just swept the floors. Naruto yelled. Less bitching, more running. Blitzo shouted. One firefighter, clean up later. Naruto leaned against the door to the teacher's taxi. Hey, sorry about that, but hey, if we can't kill your target within 24 hours, your next one is free. Also, a number to get a hold of us. Naruto said, handing her a card with a wink before her taxi drove off. Since when are we giving that out? Blitzo asked. Oh, I don't know, since you lit our office on fire and shot at our client. Naruto yelled. Whatever. Do we still have the book? Blitzo asked, wanting to make sure their ticket topside was still unharmed. You mean our only ticket to the other side? Yeah, still got it. Loona said, holding the book. And that's why you're my favorite loony. You get a treat for that. Blitzo said, holding up a dog treat. He then ate it. You are so disgusting. Loona said, opening the portal. Oh, like I don't hear that from my therapist. Alright, let's go lick some ass. Blitzo said. Again, it's kick some ass. Naruto said with a shudder. Still like my way better. Blitzo said as he went through the portal. Obviously you like your way better as you are constantly doing it. See you soon, babe, Naruto said to the imp before turning to Loona as he stepped through the portal behind Blitzo and Millie. Human world. What is this lady, a hillbilly, who lives in the woods? Blitzo said as they were in a forest. Maybe she is someone who loves nature, as I'd live in a place like this if I had the chance to. Naruto said, taking a deep breath, smelling the beauty and purity of nature around him. Yeah, but you're weird. Blitzo said before covering his mouth as Naruto stepped on his tail. Can't let them know we're here. Naruto grinned at Blitzo. This is payback for yanking your oh so sensitive tails, isn't it? Blitzo said. They ain't that sensitive, bird PP lover, Naruto said. Oh please. Just because I have to occasionally bang an owl doesn't mean I'm a man where like you. Blitzo returned fire with his own jab at Naruto. At least I don't SCK or take other men's PP like AB. Naruto fired back. Blitzo gasped as he took a few steps back. How dare you, sir? He said, not realizing that he stepped on a twig which proceeded to loudly snap under the imp's foot. What's that? The woman inside yelled, hearing that. Nice job, dumbass, Naruto said with a scowl. The wall to the house then blew up as a shotgun went off. Scatter. Blitzo yelled as they all ran. Millie and Blitzo lightly blinked as they watched Naruto run straight up a tree. Show off. Blitzo said as he ran through the bushes. Bird B. Naruto yelled after him, making Millie laugh as she also took off. Get here, you varmint, two kids yelled as they chased after Naruto, firing guns at him as he ran across the trees. Naruto dropped to the ground as he got hit before getting back up with a hole through his chest. Now care to try again, he said with a grin as his teeth and eyes glowed crimson red as he unleashed his killer intent. The two kids screamed before they fired at him until they were out of rounds. Naruto had as many holes as a piece of Swiss cheese, but they quickly filled back in. My turn, Naruto growled as he flexed his claws and charged at them. The kids' screams echoed through the forest as birds flew away hearing it. With Blitzo. Blitzo was running through the forest trying to avoid the woman as he then heard his phone ring and saw it was Stola's on the caller ID. Stola's. This is a really bad time. Blitzo whispered into his phone, answering it. Oh, when isn't it a bad time, Blitzy? What is it? I've been meaning to follow up on our last little conversation regarding my grimoire. Stolas says while in a bathtub taking a bubble bath in a room with constellations floating around. What did you just call me? Blitzo demanded. My book, Blitzy. The book I was given to do my job that I have allowed you to use to do yours, the prince says while looking at bubble floating in front of him that showed Blitzo and his current situation. A bullet then punched a hole through the tree trunk Blitzo was hiding behind, narrowly missing taking his head off. I can hear ya, darling. Martha laughed. SHT. Blitzo whispered, running deeper into the woods. Anywho, I have been thinking. You know, I have been permitting you to access the mortal realm less than legally for quite some time now, but I do need it back to fulfill my duties. I was thinking, what if we worked out some kind of exchange? Favors for favors. Stola said, doesn't that sound enticing? He teased as the imp avoided another shot. You gotta stop using your fancy as rich people talk and speed this up, okay? I'm trying to concentrate on not getting F in my A. Blitzo said angrily. Then let me keep it simple, once a month, on the full moon, you return the book to me, followed by a night of passionate FRNCTN, Stola said sensually, and, you get to keep it all the rest of the time, Sound fair, my little imp? Fine. Whatever. Blitzo said, barely dodging another bullet. Oh, Blitzy. I'm so excited. I cannot wait to feel your slimy pee in of my peach. To the, causing Blitzo to cringe before his phone was shot to pieces. Got you, the woman yelled as she slammed her shotgun's end into his neck, knocking him out and capturing him. Later. You know, boss, you better pray that I get out of this unhurt or Naruto is going to kill you, Millie says, tied up next to Blitzo. You're not just a juice dump to him? Blitzo asked with a raised eyebrow. Oh no, I am totally his juice dump, but I am also precious to him, Millie said with a wide smile on her face. Well, F me, Blitzo sighed, really hoping for a miracle for once in his life as he really doesn't want to face an enraged Naruto. The husband threw some gasoline on them and his wife held up a match, lit it and dropped it on the trail of gasoline settlement on fire, but the two imps didn't scream or react at all. Sorry you deliverance CNTS, but fire doesn't work on beings from hell, though I could scream if that will get you hard, Blitzo said with a confident smile. The woman looked surprised at this but pulled up her shotgun. Well, SHT, I bet if I blow you both to pieces you will die, she said as she smiled manically. That would get better results, Blitzo said before realizing he just told her how they could die. Blitz. Millie said, smacking him with her tail. However, before the woman could fire, hey County CNT. A voice called out, catching the southern mother's attention as she turned to see Naruto from standing atop a nearby building holding up a shotgun. Valerie Mayberry says, FUB. Naruto said, firing off a shot, blowing Martha's head off, scattering BLD, brain and skull all over the grass. He then fired a second shot, killing the husband. Naru. Millie cheered as Naruto untied her and Blitzo. Okay, you earned your F paycheck this time, Naruto. Blitzo said. Millie jumped into Naruto's arms and rubbed her face against his affectionately. You actually killed the kids. Blitzo asked, seeing the BLD on Naruto's claws. They were cannibals and psychopaths. They had it coming. Naruto explained. As after he killed them he saw their room in the house. Well, at least you're not a PP, Blitzo said as he took out a spare phone to signal Loona to make a portal home. Yeah, that's more of your thing. Naruto said. Yeah, hey. Blitzo said as a portal opened. 3, 2, 1. Naruto said before a massive explosion went off. You destroyed their home? Millie asked. Now when cops show up they may believe the explosion got them. Naruto said with a shrug. Covering our tracks, good job son-in-law, Blitzo said. Yeah, I had to do extra considering you blew our cover. Naruto said with a smirk but paused. Wait, son-in-law, he asked. Oh yeah, you defiled my loony, so now you have to deal with me as your father-in-law, Blitzo said with an evil grin as they all left through the portal. I wonder if Octavia is free for a ride. Naruto muttered. Whoa, you're gonna try and go for Stola's kid? You do realize he's way more powerful than you, right? Millie asked with a curious look. Yeah, but we're friends, I'm sure he can trust me, see, I even have him on speed dial. Naruto said, showing his phone. He pegged you, didn't he? Blitzo asked with a smirk. He wishes, but that's your area of expertise, Naruto said before the three entered the portal, returning to Hell and the portal closing behind them. IMP office. Well, how did it go? Loona asked as she looked up from her phone to greet them. Tore the cannibal kids apart, blew Marthra's brains everywhere and shot the husband through the heart, Naruto said. Wow, in under an hour too, Loona said, tapping her wristwatch. It would have been sooner if Blitzo the clumsy didn't blow our cover. Naruto said. Yeah, let's tell the client we did it so we can get paid, Blitzo said as he grabbed a phone and dialed. I'll order the pizza to celebrate and maybe a cake, Naruto said. Office party. Millie yelled happily as she clapped her hands. No chocolate, Loona said to Naruto. That chocolate thing with dogs is true even with hellhounds? Naruto asked curiously. Nah, I just don't want to get fat, Loona said. Please, considering you kept up with me for 12 hours straight, I doubt one little bit of chocolate could ruin your fine looks. If anything, it might add a little more cushion for me to push in, Naruto said with a teasing smirk as he nipped at one of her ears, causing her to mewl and blush. Sweetie does like something he can grab. Millie said with a giggle as she smacked her peach with her hand, causing it to jiggle a bit. Millie then gave a slight eep and looked at a smirking Naruto. You're DMN right, I do, the Kitsune demon says while blowing on his hand that he just used to give her a spank on that thick jiggly peach of hers. Ugh, now I know how you people feel when I talk about my things with Stolas. Blitzo groaned. We are mellow compared to you too, Naruto said flatly. 2 hours later. Wow, you do this with every client? Valerie asked as she ate some cake. Only the cute ones, Naruto said as he put an arm around her. Watch out, he's already nailing Millie and Loona, Blitzo said. Before Valerie could say anything, Naruto took a selfie with her. What are you up to? She asked Naruto as she could tell he was mischievous. Nothing much, just seeing if my first girlfriend is okay if I pursue you. Naruto said with a grin. That a teacher or something? You naughty boy. Claim her, was the text he got back from his succubus of a first girlfriend. Looks like she likes you, Naruto said with a smile. What kind of girlfriend do you need permission from to F others? Blitzo asked. None of your business, Naruto said simply. Ugh, if it's a succubus, been there done that. Blitzo said, missing Naruto's smirk as he was really looking forward to just who his girlfriend was being revealed to Blitzo. So what's your plan now that you have revenge? Millie asked Valerie. I don't know. Ever since I got here all I could think of doing was strangling Martha until her head popped off. Valerie said. Do you need a job? Naruto asked curiously. Yeah, I do. Actually, Valerie said. She could take my job, she already got the secretary look down. Loona said. Yeah, we can promote you yo full agent and you can help with missions, Naruto said with a smile at Luna. Looney as a agent, no way. Blitzo said. Too bad me and Millie own half the business so we outvote you, Naruto said. Wait, when did that happen? Blitzo said. My price for that porno fiasco, Naruto said with a smirk. Satan DMN it, Blitzo yelled in anger. What fiasco? Valerie asked though her question went ignored due to the ongoing argument drowning it out. You are not becoming an agent Looney, it's too dangerous. Blitzo yells. You are making me an agent or else. Luna yells. Or else what? Blitzo yells back. Or else I will have Naruto tie you up and make you watch as he destroys my holes and makes me his bee again. Luna yells. Congrats on becoming an agent Looney. Blitzo yells excitedly and starts cheering complete with confetti poppers and noisemakers. He honestly thinks that's going to stop you and Luna from F again. Millie whispers to Naruto. My that is quite devious of you Naruto, it's making me so hot, Valerie said into his ear as she begins nibbling on his earlobe, having walked over to his side halfway through the conversation as for some reason her attraction to the kitsune demon was growing with every minute she was around him. She thought it might have something to do with how sexually repressed and vanilla her SEC life was with her husband when she was alive/a human. Now that she was a demon her hormones had been out of whack and all over the place since arriving in hell, which led to many nights she would simply lay in her shitty bed in her shitty apartment just playing with herself for hours on end. That being the case and now being around what she can feel is an alpha of a demon combined with said demon also being the one to off that whoring CNT that ruined her life along with said CNT's family had her super corny for the kitsune demon. Same here sugar, Millie says doing the same to his other ear and wrapping her tail around his waist. Naruto wraps his arms around each demon's shoulders and grabs one of their tips with each hand as his tails give each of their peaches a slap. Keep that up girls and we are going to need a new bed after tonight, he says. We will hold you to that promise, Valerie and Millie say at the same time before walking off swaying their peach hypnotically. Naruto lets out a low growl as he watches their peaches jiggle as they walk away. Oh yeah, I am tearing them up tonight, better give Verosika a call and have her pre-order a new bed again, he says with a savage grin. Shouldn't you be careful saying her name around him? Luna said glancing at Blitzo who ate a buffalo wing. Let him be blissfully ignorant as it will only make it even sweeter when that belief is shattered, Naruto says. Well, if you're gonna be our new secretary I hope you can at least fight a little just in case, Blitzo said. Valerie reached into her purse and pulled out a massive chainsaw and raved it with a smile at Blitzo. What the F? Blitzo said as he backed up from Valerie. You are so much hotter now, Naruto said with a low growl. How do you even fit that in there? Blitzo asked. Well, some sinners get special abilities, I guess hammer space is hers, Millie said. Besides that's not even the worst thing I carry around, now where's that flamethrower or missile launcher? Valerie said as she rummaged through her purse pulling out and tossing out many deadly weapons from the small purse. Hey, as long as she can read the book so we can go to and from the human world it's cool, Luna said as she ate some pizza with lots of meat on it. So that you need a place to stay? Millie asked Valerie with a smile. Well, I could use a place other than my shitty-ass apartment, apparently the last person left because she got a better place to live. Valerie said. The guy renting to you is missing a limb? Naruto asked. How'd you know? Valerie asked. 'Cause my sweetie here was the guy who did it and that is my old apartment, Millie said with a smile. Yeah, that as was treating my girl bad so I corrected him, Naruto said with a smirk. Want us to help you pack and take care of that guy? Luna asked. Valerie asked. Do you live with him too? Valerie asked Luna. Good point. Hey Blitz. I'm moving in with my alpha. Luna yelled at Blitzo. Asterisk splush asterisk wait what? Blitzo yelled having spit out his soda he was drinking. Valerie glared at him as her hair seemed to heat up as he spat all over her face. The only facials I will tolerate or receive are from this hunky fox right here, she says in a deathly tone. Yeah, I'm moving in with him, besides his house is better than ours, Loona said. But you're my kid. Blitzo yelled as he started to cry and throw a tantrum by throwing things around the office. Wow, he actually cares about you, Naruto said with wide eyes as the level of tantrum Blitzo was throwing was impressive. Yeah, he always said, and I quote, I don't care if I adopted you at 17, you're my kid, DMN it, and I love you. Loona said as she rolled her eyes. Wow, that's so sweet, Naruto said with surprise on his face as this information upped his respect for Blitzo by a little bit. You are such a sap, sweetie, Millie said with a laugh at Naruto being sentimental. As if you're one to talk, my southern belle, Naruto said with a teasing grin causing her to puff out her cheeks cutely and pout as she couldn't refute his statement. Oh, will you calm down, you're still my dad, DMN it. Loona yelled, clearly frustrated. Ah, you called me dad. Blitzo said, gasping before smiling. Don't you dare. Loona said before grumbling as he hugged her. Naruto took a picture of this. Oh, this one is going in the photo album, he said with a smile. Hey. Loona barked at Naruto as she got loose from Blitzo's hug. Oh, don't worry Wolfie, it's going right next to the picture of you after we finished our 12-hour-long F-Fest, Naruto said with a teasing grin, kissing her to flush and her tail to poof up in embarrassment. Off to the side, Valerie's eyes widened hearing this. Holy F, he F her for 12 hours straight. My cheating F-wad of an ex-husband barely lasted 5 minutes, the former teacher thought to herself in shock as she subconsciously started to grind her thighs together to prevent herself from soiling her panties with her juices. Okay, me and Loona will go pack her stuff and you can help Valerie, Millie said with a knowing giggle at Naruto. Naruto smiled at this as he looked at Valerie with a predatory look, making her blush and bite her lip before the two started making their way out of the office to head towards her apartment. Naruto's penthouse. Phew, that should just about do it. Naruto said as he just finished moving the last of Valerie Mayberry's stuff into her new bedroom. Thank you, Valerie said with a kind smile, something rarely seen in hell. Hey, anything for a good-looking demon, teach. Naruto said with a small wink. Are you sure you're not an incubus? Valerie asked. About 50% sure, he admitted. As hanging around a succubus so long probably made him at least half of an incubus. And if not, the crazy SEC drive made him on par with one. Would be better than my dead-ass husband, that's for sure, Valerie said, letting out a huff of her cigarette. Have you run into him since you came down here? He asked curiously. No thanks Satan, Valerie said, glad she didn't run into her little bee of an ex. Well, if you ever see him let me know. I'd like to have a few words with him, Naruto said. Is there anyone in hell that you're actually afraid of? Valerie ached. Well, a couple weeks back I met this as of an overlord in red, we fought. I managed to get a cut to his face, though it's probably healed by now. I kinda gotta say no. Naruto said with a shrug. You fought an overlord? One of the most powerful beings in hell. Last week? She asked, stupefied, as while she was new to hell, she did receive the free brochure explaining hell's hierarchy. Well, considering I am one, or at least have the strength of one. Naruto said. You have the strength of an overlord? She asked, still stupefied with the demon before her. Either I'm still growing stronger or all the SEC I have keeps powering me up, Naruto said with a shrug. You mean you get stronger from SEC? She asked, shocked. She was not only positive he was part incubus but also found power to be a new turn-on for her. Well, it's how Verosika gets so strong, she too may be at overlord considering how long and how much we go at it, Naruto said. You somehow out-F a succubus and made her stronger than before. She was really turned on now. Out-F her when she took my version, Naruto said with a grin. Come with me. She said, grabbing his arm and pulling him to her as she started walking towards her new bedroom. Sure thing. Naruto said enthusiastically. He could smell her juices as he spoke, so he knew she was close to lustful madness. We see Naruto on the bed while Valerie pats a ruler against her hand. Well, what do you have to say for yourself, Mr. Uzumaki? she said as she approached the hell fox with a sway in her step. Naruto quickly caught on to her roleplay. You are hot as SHT. Naruto said with a grin. Naughty boy. She shouted as she sidled up closer. You're in detention with me now. I saw what you did to those girls. And on school property too. You aren't going to be leaving anytime soon. Got that? She asked smugly. Only thing I got is that you need to be F more often, Naruto said leaning on his hands. How dare you? Miserable BRT. Just because you had relations on school grounds with some girls doesn't mean you can talk to me like that. She shouted, really getting into the teacher role. Let's face facts, you want to go at me too. After all, it wasn't just some girls. There was a teacher somewhere there F stupid as well. Naruto said smugly yet again. Valerie readied to smack him with her ruler, but he stopped the arm and got up, looking her dead in the eye, making her blush as she felt him seeing her for all that she was, inside and out, as if his eyes bore into her soul. I see it in your eyes. You want someone to put you into your well-deserved place. Well, today's your lucky day, B. I'm gonna give you what your pathetic, limp D husband won't myself. He told her. Mayberry was in a stupor as she felt him take her ruler and began to feel her peach playing with the sides of her skirt. Naruto held her chin up before leaning down to kiss her. Valerie into the kiss before lightly feeling him mess with her PP, using the ruler to rub between her legs. Let's see how far down the ruler your juices will cover, he told her with a grin. Valerie as Naruto continued to rub her clothed PP, but he then got behind her and stuck a hand in her shirt to mess with one of her melons. We shouldn't do this. I'm your teacher. She shouted between her pants and She'll forget about that and just let all those tensions go, Naruto said before he liked her ear before eating on her neck. Valerie getting lost in the pleasure. That's it, Naruto said to her, feeling her relax and give in to his touch. Naruto used one of his tails to continue rubbing her PP with the ruler and took his other hand to join his first, rubbing her other BRST. Mayberry felt her mind tingle, as this was possibly her first legitimate SXL experience, as her husband was nothing like this during SEC and Naruto was still only doing FRPLY. It spoke volumes about his skills. Naruto used two of his tails to pull down her panties and proceeded to rub her PP directly with the ruler. Leak for me. You're a terrible teacher, but make a good SLT, so leak. He demanded her as her grew louder and louder. Valerie began to breathe as Naruto began to F her with the ruler. Do it and then we can see how my PP measures to this ruler, Naruto spoke huskily into her ear. Mayberry immediately leaked as her juices spilled onto the ruler, drenching every inch of it. Good girl. Naruto said, giving her neck a kiss. Holy SHT, Ivy never leaked that hard before. Valerie said, panting, dropping to her knees. Because unlike your ex-husband I know how to pleasure a woman, Naruto said with a grin. Now, you know what to do next, he said, gesturing to his pants. Mayberry, still recovering from her orgasm, shakily reached and pulled down his lowers. His underwear was also pulled down with his pants, and Mayberry felt something hot hit her forehead. Thwop, a flesh-on-flesh sound was heard as she stared at the massive lower appendage currently on her face in reverence. 13 inches long and 4 inches thick, wanna use the ruler to prove it? Naruto asked, grinning down at her. She silently nodded, still enraptured by his massive PP. She grabbed the ruler and started measuring his PP, and when she saw he was right, her juices flowed slightly quicker. Now get to work, unless you want to stick by your rules and walk away from the greatest F you'll ever get. Naruto asked, petting her head. As soon as he stopped petting her head, he found the head of his PP immediately enclosed by the salty teacher's wet hot mouth. Good girl. Naruto said. Valerie turned her head, causing the head of his PP to bulge against her cheek as she continued to take his PP into her mouth. Who knew you were such an easy wear, Ms. Mayberry? All it took was a big PP for you to break every rule in the book, huh? He mockingly told her. Please make me feel loved. Valerie said as she looked up at him pleadingly, seeing the pure desperation in them. Naruto nodded before getting back into his delinquent character. Come now, let me give you a hand. Naruto said as he grabbed her horns. Mayberry's eyes widened as he began to force more of his pee down her throat, making her cough and choke as she teared up, never doing something like this, especially with something so big. Your mo was made to sck my pee. He commented as he punctuated it with a hard move. With each hard move, Mayberry could feel another inch of his pee try to go down her throat. When he finally managed to get all 13 long down her throat, she felt herself on the verge of passing out from loss of oxygen. What's the matter? The feeling of my balls slapping against your salty chin too much for you? Naruto said, grinning down at her. She tried to speak but couldn't. Sorry, I don't speak the language of where. You probably should have taught me that before we started this. He mockingly jested at her. Mayberry's eyes widened as Naruto tilted her head back, practically getting on top of her, basically shoving his pee directly down her throat. Gluck. 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 Mayberry gasped and gagged as Naruto's large pee dived down her throat, Naruto tightly gripping her horns. Naruto roared as he began to leak down her throat. Mayberry loudly against his pee, the sheer volume of juices being more than she could take as it gushed out of the corners of her mouth and out of her nose. Naruto slowly pulled out of her mouth, striking himself a few times to cover her face in more stands of his thick white juices. Valerie almost lifelessly fell onto her back, panting rapidly, taking in each breath of oxygen greedily. Well, that was a good first lesson. But I think we should move on to something a little more advanced. Naruto said as he pounced onto her like an animal. Wait, let me catch my breath. Valerie said weakly. Sorry, but I can't do that. Naruto said with a grin before he put his tails underneath her clothes and tore them off of her, leaving her underneath him, now naked as the day she was born, which he quickly looked like, as well as he removed his clothes afterwards. Mayberry's breath hitched as she looked at the Adonis before her, rubbing his abs and muscles. Naruto grinned as he picked her up and got behind Valerie, pressing up against her peach before thrusting into her tight hole, pulling on her horn, his hips slamming against her peach while her tongue hung open, her eyes rolling into the back of her head as her long tongue hung out. Naruto raised his hand, slapping Valerie's peach cheek. Who's a naughty teacher? Naruto shouted, slapping Valerie's as hard, leaving a burning hand print. Me. I'm your naughty SLT. I'm a dirty naughty teacher who likes getting F by her student. Valerie shouted. That's right, you are. Naruto smirked, putting more force into his thrsts as Mayberry's pee juices spilled out onto the floor as she felt herself about to CLMX. Aw Satan, I'm leaking. Valerie screamed, gushing, while Naruto grit his teeth, exploding into her peach, filling her peach with juices. Valerie looked down at her stomach, which currently made her look like she was 4 months pregnant with twins. That's a good look for you. Naruto said, maybe after I'm done with your tight peach I'll give your pee a shot. Then we'll see if you get knocked up with your student's kid. How's that sound, you worthless where? He shouted, really getting into his delinquent role. For hours and hours Valerie's room was filled with many and screams. 8 hours later. Naruto had a cigar in his mouth as he leaned against the end of his bed, looking at a very satisfied Valerie next to him. So can I leave detention now, Ms. Mayberry? He asked smugly. I'd say no so we could cuddle more, but yes, Valerie said. Good if you said no. I would have pounced on you again and leak-ins you till you'd definitely be pregnant. He told her as he flicked his cigar. I don't think my holes could take any more, Valerie said. Naruto chuckled as he kissed her head as she fell asleep. The next day. Naruto was walking down the street getting some groceries and was heading for his car when someone bumped into him, making him drop his groceries. Naruto scowled and looked at the demon who bumped into him. He was wearing a red suit. Hey, what the hell, man? The Hellfox shouted at the demon who made him drop his groceries. Ah, hello there, my good fellow, the demon said, causing Naruto to really look at this guy. What are you, some kinda strawberry PMP? Naruto asked with a quirked eyebrow. Oh ho ho, my dear boy, no. Allow me to introduce myself. Alastor said, summoning up a business card, handing it to Naruto. Alastor the radio demon. So then where's your price rates for your girls, or do you trick yourself out instead? He asked. You have quite a mouth on you. Are you new to hell? Alastor asked with a sneer. Not new to hell. But I'll introduce myself regardless, with my boot up your peach if you don't apologize. Naruto told him as he ripped up the business card. Ha! You're every bit as assuming as I've heard you are, my boy. Alastor said as his eyes shifted bright red, snapping his fingers as powerful blast of air shot up, blasting Naruto away, skidding across the ground. Naruto growled as he quickly recovered from this attack and glared and cracked his fingers a bit as he and Alastor stood across from each other. Naruto shot out a wave of lightning towards the radio demon. Alastor saw the attack, simply smiling as the attack struck, kicking up dust. When it cleared, he was nowhere to be seen before Naruto had chanced. Suddenly dozens of demonic hands shot up from the ground, lashing out at Naruto. The assassin demon drew out his sword, slicing the arms as they came at him when he noticed a large shadow above his head and looked up to see an entire building falling straight at him. Naruto growled, rearing back his arms, tossing out his Rasen Shuriken right at the building, cutting through the glass and stones of the tower. Alastor smiled, cupping his chin, and snapped his finger, turning the volume down. Naruto was hit across the head, sending him crashing into the ground. He smashed his fist into the ground, causing several sharpened stones to spring up from the ground as Alastor elegantly moved across the field without making a sound, much to Naruto's own confusion when he sensed something and was shved to the ground by Alastor. Naruto grit his teeth, swiping at him with his sword as Alastor clashed with his mic/scepter, causing sparks to fly. Naruto fired off a large ball of fire at Alastor, who snapped his finger, causing the spiral orbs to shoot back at Naruto, who gasped as they came crashing into him, smashing him into a nearby building. Okay, I know this is filthy rich coming from me, but your powers are BS. Naruto shouted out as he got up and cracked his neck. You are quite durable. Surprisingly so, actually. But let's test how durable you truly are, Alastor said as he twirled his mic staff and his eyes shifted bright red. Snapping his finger as powerful blast of air shot up, blasting Naruto away, skidding across the ground. Naruto chuckled at this and his eyes slitted as he gained an aura around him and got on his feet. As my boss says, dance B, he yelled as he pulled out a machine gun and opened fire on Alastor. Alastor spun his mic staff and blocked all the bullets, but before he could react, Naruto was in front of him and slashed at face, cutting the radio demon across his nose. Alastor yelled out and jumped back away from Naruto. Looks like I drew first BLD Peach. Naruto said with a smirk. Naruto was expecting the radio demon would be angry but was surprised when he started laughing. You scared my handsome-faced dog boy, he said, still laughing like a maniac. Well, you've got a face for radio, so what's a little scar to that ugly mug, Naruto said. As fun as it would be to continue this as a overlord fighting a plebeian is below me, Alastor said. This plebeian scarred your punk as, so go ahead and run B. Naruto growled out mockingly. Till we meet again, dog boy. Alastor said as he disappeared in smoke with the sound of static. Naruto scowled at this but left the area to go get more groceries, but what he didn't notice was that some security cameras recorded the entire incident. A few days later, Naruto was sitting in the waiting room looking at his phone, bored, waiting for a job to come in. Suddenly the door to Blitzo's office burst open, showing Blitzo with a megaphone. Okay people, gear up. We are going to Lululand, he yelled into the megaphone. Lululand? Naruto asked with a quirked eyebrow. Lululand. Millie yelled, excitement in her voice. Lululand. Blitz yelled into a megaphone for some reason. Shut the F up. Luna yelled as her sensitive hearing was being driven crazy from all the shouting. Why the hell are we going to an amusement park? Naruto asked. My guess it involves an avian prince, Millie said, giving Blitzo a look. He wants us to be his bodyguards, Blitzo said. He should have just asked for me then, Naruto said with a chuckle. Oh please, like he would say no to his Blitzy protecting him, Luna said, shuddering when she said Blitzy. Well, I actually was a bodyguard prior to working here. In fact, Stolas was the one that got me that job. Naruto said. Cool. Millie said. Well, you're coming anyway. Whiskers. Stolas' kid wants you there and offered trip pile pay if you are assigned as her bodyguard, Blitzo said. Yay, Naruto said with a grin. You nailing Stolas' kid? Mayberry asked. Not yet. I met her when I got here 3 years ago when she was 14. I have some standards, Naruto said. Oh, please don't nail her. My peach wouldn't be able to handle what Stolas would do to me if you do. Blitzo begged. Who cares what happens to you in your gay life, Naruto said as he grabbed his motorcycle helmet. Hey. I'm bi. Get it right as. Blitzo yelled at him. Kiss my fur-covered peach, Naruto said as he put his helmet on. I don't need hair in my teeth. Blitzo shouted. But you prefer feathers? Millie asked, chuckling. DMN it. I can't be mad at you, Mills, Blitzo said, chuckling. Have fun, Luna said, sounding bored as she looked at her phone. You're coming to Luna. You need to lighten up, Naruto said with a grin. Yeah, you're an agent now, so this is a job, so come on, Millie said. Fine, but if the loud noises start messing with my hearing, I'll eat one of you. She shouted. Maybe there's an imp you can eat if they try killing Stolas. Naruto said with a shrug. Imps taste like SHT, Luna growled. How would you know that? Blitzo asked, actually curious. Let's just say the orphanage was rough sometimes and I had to bite some as who tried to bully me, Luna growled. 30 minutes later. How the F did they make this place? Duct tape and cardboard. Naruto said, looking at Lulu Land as it looked ready to fall apart with a strong gust. Stay alert, they are here, Blitzo said as a car approached. You stay alert and try not to screw the bird, Naruto said, lighting up a cigar from a flame on his thumb. I could say the same about you, mutt, Blitzo said. Blitzo suddenly found a rain cloud over his head that blasted him with a lightning bolt. The imp coughed out a puff of smoke before dropping to the ground. I hate you and your elemental powers, he groaned, getting back up. The limo car's doors then opened and Stolas came out of the limo with a smile on his face. Naruto stifled a chuckle as Stolas looked ridiculous. Next came Octavia, who took one look at Naruto and blushed. She had DD cup melons, a slim curvy body, and a round smooth peach. Hey Via, Naruto said with a smile, using his nickname for her. Hey, Octavia said. So how's my favorite outlet been? Naruto asked with a chuckle. Ugh, don't call me that, Octavia said with a frown. Yeah, that's my name for her, Stolas said. Who cares? Naruto said, waving him off. You want my approval to date her, you will care, Stolas said. Pretty sure I can get with her without that. Naruto said with a chuckle. Stolas chuckled at this. Well, at least you don't fear me, that's a point in your favor, he said, actually impressed by the fox demon's bravery. I don't think I fear anyone. I wasn't even scared when I fought this guy Alastor, I think his name was, Naruto said as he scratched the back of his head. Stolas paused at this but chuckled. So that's where he got that scar, he said with a smile. The Alastor you fought the radio demon and won? Blitzo screamed. It was more of a disagreement than a fight. That guy didn't last long, Naruto said. You fought one of the most powerful overlords in the history of hell and won, Octavia said in amazement and shock. Like I told Valerie, I'm not really afraid of anyone in hell. Naruto said with a chuckle. They all entered the park together. Naruto looked around at the park and saw how slapped together everything looked, from the rides to the stands. Wow, this, Naruto thought to himself as he looked around. Millie smiled as she looked around in excitement. I haven't been here since I was a tot, she said, excitement in her voice. You like this place? Naruto asked curiously. Yup, my parents would bring me and my siblings here whenever they could afford it, Millie said with a fine smile at the memories. Blitzo smiled at this. Tell you what, Millie, me and Looney take the first shift. How about you and Naruto go have some fun, he asked. Great, I'm stuck with you, Loona said. Hey, think of it this way, at least you and Octavia will get a chance to get to know each other, Naruto said. Before Loona could respond, Millie grabbed Naruto and carried him off. Geez woman, you're stronger than you look, Naruto said with a chuckle, finding her excitement cute. Octavia sighed watching Naruto get carried away. Relax, Naruto isn't one to ignore a woman he likes, Loona said as she looked at her phone. Octavia blushed lightly at this. He likes me, she asked. Come on my little owlet, let's go have some fun. Stola said as they went on their way. 1 hour later with Naruto. Isn't this fun? Millie asked, getting off of a teacup ride. Riding a toad the size of a building is fun, this not so much, Naruto said with a shrug as he didn't see what was so entertaining about spinning around. Ah, look, whiskers, a thing. Millie said, seeing a prize that looked like a purple duck with overalls and horns. Want it? Naruto asked with a smile. Yes. Millie yelled excitedly. Naruto grabbed the dart gun and fired, but the target went to the right, making him miss. Oh, too bad buddy, the operator said, smirking. Naruto growled, trying again, but the target went to the left, making him miss again. Strike two, the operator said. Naruto growled before blasting the targets with fire, destroying them. The operator's jaw hung before the prize Millie wanted dropped out of the sky into Naruto's hand. He then proceeded to hand the stuffed creature to a very happy Millie. Come on honey, let's go find Blitzo before he somehow blows the park up, Naruto said. They then heard a crash and screaming as a fire started from the big top in the middle of the park. Looks like we might be a little late to that, hun, Millie said. Naruto sighed as him and Millie ran over to the burning big top. Loona, Octavia and Stolas ran out of the burning tent and ran towards Naruto and Millie. What happened? Naruto asked, hoping everyone was okay. That robot freak started talking trash to Blitz and Blitz started firing at him, Loona said. Oh yeah, he used to work here, Naruto said to himself. What did he say? Millie asked curiously. Something about how nobody cared about him when he worked here and nobody cares now, Octavia said with a frown, as even she found that too harsh. Well, considering his attitude, Naruto muttered. Naruto. Millie said, slapping him on the shoulder with a look of disapproval on her face. Okay, I'll go help him already, Naruto said with a sigh, knowing that he should at least back his boss up. Naruto then went inside the big top and say Blitzo was firing his guns at what looked like a robot clown straight out of someone's nightmare. The hell are you doing here? Blitzo asked. Stopping you from burning the park down, Naruto said simply. Hey! He started it. Blitzo yelled, pointing at the robot clown. Whatever. Naruto said as he grabbed him by his face and proceeded to carry him towards the exit. Oh, you have a pet fox now, Blitzo? The robot clown asked as he laughed. One of Naruto's tails glowed as he waved it, sending a wave at the clown, slicing him in half. Watch how you talk to my friend, as Naruto growled. Wow, you might actually be a overlord, Blitzo said, kinda impressed. Whatever. Naruto said as he tossed Blitzo through the exit and into Stolas. Where is Loona and Octavia? Naruto asked curiously. They said something about a taxidermy place, Stolas said. They actually became friends? That's great, Naruto said with a smile. Why wouldn't they? Stolas asked curiously. Well, one's a wolf and one's a owl, and last time I checked dogs kinda ate birds, Naruto said, scratching his head. That kind of thing doesn't matter in hell, though she may get attitude from her mom for being friends with a commoner, Stolas said with a roll of his eyes. No offense Stolas, but your wife is a beat, Naruto said. I know, Stolas said with a sigh. If she's that bad and you don't leave her, why not dump her, harpy as? Naruto asked. To keep our image and because of Via, Stolas said. Oh, F your image, and Via knows you're miserable, and as long as you don't abandon her then I'm sure she would be fine, Naruto said. Well, I didn't until I talked to her in one of the rides. She thought I would leave her and go with Blitz, Stolas said, looking down slightly. Stolas, that's every daughter's or son's fear when their dad or mom is with another person, Naruto said. If your wife is that bad, then dump her and keep your kid around. Besides, it can't be good for her to hear her screaming at you all the time, Blitzo said as he looked around for any other enemies. Since when do you give good advice? Naruto asked, raising a brow. Hey, I'm a father too, so I know some stuff, Blitzo said. Naruto chuckled as he rolled his eyes. So Whiskers, how's about a favor? Since Looney took my car to take via, think you could, Blitzo was saying, looking at Naruto's motorcycle. Go ahead, but you break it, you buy it, Naruto said, tossing Blitzo the keys. Then how are we supposed to get home? Millie asked him. I'll call another limo for you, of course. My Blitzy's friends are my friends, Stola said with a smile. Last time I checked, you and I were friends already, Naruto said with a chuckle. Of course, my dear boy, I'm just making it clear that the rest of you are my friends, Stola said. Won't that make your wife mad? Naruto asked. What won't make her mad is all I think about, Stolas muttered, as these days everything set Stella off. Blitzo screamed as he shot off through the parking lot, barely hanging on to Naruto's motorcycle. You'd think he'd realize the whole size difference plays into my bike, Naruto said with a grin. He just wanted to ride it to show off, Millie said, rolling her eyes. Of course he did, it's Blitz, Naruto said. The trio watched as Stolas entered his limo as another pulled up. Have fun, you two, Stolas said before his limo drove away. Naruto grinned as he looked at Millie. Gotta say, never F in a limo before, he said. Millie giggled as the two jumped inside and the limo was filled with and screams all the way home. Few days later, Naruto and the rest of his co-workers were in the office waiting for a job to come in. Millie then looked up from cleaning her battle axe. Hey sweetie, did you buy candy for tonight? She asked. What for? Naruto asked curiously. Luna looked up from her phone at Naruto. You're kidding, right? She asked. No, I'm not. What's going on? Naruto asked curiously. Valerie quirked an eyebrow at this. It's Halloween and you will need candy for the trick-or-treaters tonight, she said. Well, in my village we never had holidays like that except Christmas, Naruto said. Your village sounds weird, Luna told him. My kinda people have invented weird things now. What's this Halloween about? Naruto asked them curiously. Humans dress as monsters and demons and walk around getting candy from neighbors and people, Millie said. And they celebrate that in hell? Naruto asked. Half the time demons dress as humans instead, Millie told him. Or if they wanna really scare someone they dress as priests, Luna said with a snicker. Man, I wish one of you would do that to scare Blitzo, Naruto said, snickering. Well, I could, Luna said as she pulled out a bag revealing a nun costume. Not just any costume though. A CC nun costume. Suddenly the phone rang and Valerie answered it. MP, you choose M, we stab M, she said. Wonder who'd want to kill on Halloween, Naruto said. Honey, just you wait until you see all the movies. They all have humans or one who's like a zombie killing people on or around Halloween, Millie said. Skip 3, Luna barked out. And the remakes, Millie said. The reboot is fine though, Luna said. Oh please, giving the killer a background ruins the mystery, Millie said. I meant the latest reboot that eliminates all that background CRP. Luna said. Oof, we got a big one, a mafia family. Valerie said, hanging up. Wow, this client has guts to put out a hit like that, Naruto said, surprised. Well, apparently this mafia family killed him and his family on Halloween when they didn't pay their protection money, Valerie said. Hey Blitz. We have a job, Luna barked as she entered his office. Huh? Blitzo said before falling down from his desk dressed as an owl. That had a crown on his head. I'm not even gonna ask, Naruto said in regards to Blitz attire. Look, I'm Stolas. Blitzo said, snickering. So was this your idea or his idea? Naruto asked. Mine, Blitzo said. Then we know what Stolas is dressed up as, Luna muttered. We got a big one, a mafia family, revenge style. Millie said holding up her axe. Sweet. Let's slice up these bees and get back in time for some horror movies. Blitz shouted. There's 20 members, Valerie said to him simply. OSHT. Blitzo muttered as he didn't expect that many. We can each kill 5 of these idiots in time for some horror later, Loona said as it was a fair deal. Did the client give any info? Millie asked, wondering if the client gave them any info. Yeah, they throw a Halloween party every year so you all can blend in easily, Valerie said. Difficult with people around, but we can do it, Blitzo said. Given they're mobsters though, they probably sit in a back room to discuss business. So that's where you'll probably find most of them. Valerie said. Come on, let's go kill some Italians. Blitzo said. Should that be counted as racist? Naruto asked quizzically. It's hell alpha, nobody cares, Loona said with a smirk. Touché, Naruto with a chuckle. Valerie took out the grimoire and soon there was a portal to Earth. Cacaw bees, Blitzo said jumping through. Owls hoot. Loona shouted following after him. Text me when you need a return portal, Valerie said to Naruto as she sat down at her desk. You got it, wear a CC costume for later when we're done, he grinned as he and Millie jumped through. Earth. Wow, they go all out for Halloween, huh? Naruto asked, seeing all the decorations set up in this neighborhood. I think those skeletons may be actual skeletons, Millie said, pointing at some of the skeletal decorations near the restaurant. The one day us imps can walk around in public, Blitzo said as it was a great day indeed. Why? Can't make disguises? Naruto asked. Shut up, Blitzo said. This made Naruto stop and hold his hands up. Hold up you, we have been doing this and you can't make disguises, he asked. You can't either, Blitzo said sounding defensive. That's because no one's shown me how. Naruto said as Verosika's lessons involved SEC not powers. And she could disguise him with her abilities when needed. I can teach you, Loona said. Wait, you have a human disguise? Millie asked. Of course I do. When Blitz said he was starting this business I took a 6-month class thinking he would hire me as an agent, Loona said. Out of curiosity, how much did the 6-month class cost? Blitzo asked. $100, but they know their stuff, Loona said. So that's where my $100 went. I just assumed I was robbed. Blitzo yells angrily. Focus Fredo, we need to get to this party, Naruto said. Millie and Loona snorted in laughter at this as they followed Naruto. Hey! I am not Fredo. Blitzo yelled out as he ran after them. They all walked down the road passing by people with costumes. We'll never find it, in this city, Blitzo said as this city had to be huge. Found it, Millie said pointing ahead. What the literal F? Blitzo asked, thinking the universe was just F with him now. Good work. Naruto said kissing her cheek making her smile. They approached the gates of the mansion and were stopped by 2 guards. Invites? One of them asked. Yeah, here, Naruto said holding out some green dust that he blew in their faces. Within seconds they began to snore before dropping. They'll be out for hours, Naruto said. Good, let's do this, Blitzo said with a mad grin. Wait, how do we find them? Naruto asked as he noticed that everyone was in costumes. According to Valerie, they use the same costumes every year, Loona said looking at the images sent on her phone. Send us pics and we'll look for them, Naruto said to her as he looked through the lists. Loona nodded as they entered the house. Well, great werewolf costume. A teen said as he passed by wearing his own werewolf costume. I'm a hellhound, not a werewolf, Loona said as she growled as it was basically racist to her to be called another species of K9. Either way you're hot as hell, the teen said as he left. Loona growled at this as only her alpha could comment on her looks. Well, he's not wrong, Naruto said with a chuckle at Loona. Split up and find them, Kakaw. Blitzo said as he ran off. Owls hoot dumbass, the guy who just hit on Loona said as he turned back around in time to hear that before walking off. Millie walked in one direction while Naruto headed upstairs. Loona stayed in the party area thinking she could find a backroom. With Naruto. Naruto was in the upstairs area with a flat look on his face as many people were using the rooms to God, is this a Halloween party or a org party? He muttered. Ooh, who's the cute foxy guy? A female partier said as she was making out with a dude in the hall. Naruto passed by. Ooh, you're right. Want to see if he's down to play? The dude asked. Naruto faintly glowed red as his incubus side was taking in the SXL energy around him but knew he had to focus on the task at hand. And also to get away from the dude. That was Blitzo's thing, not his. If it was two women making out then maybe he would have taken them up on their offer for a quickie. Naruto spotted one of the targets evident by his Michael Myers costume and by his other features. God, I hope the original of whoever he is isn't that fat, he muttered as it looked like the costume was too small. Naruto got past him and looked into the room he left and his eyes slightly widened seeing a girl dressed as a witch tied to the bed with tear marks going down her face. He then got in and began to free her. Hey, the hell do you think you're doing? The man said. Naruto looked at the girl on the bed and lightly shushed her as he got up, kinda sick, bringing party goers up here to do what you want with them, he said. Get away from my bee. The fat man said pointing a real machete at him. Naruto just thrusted his claw through his chest right where his heart is. The man was dead before he could let out a cry. Naruto watched as the body fell. I am sorry you had to see that, he told the girl before using the sleeping dust on her. This will all seem as nothing more than a bad dream, he said as she fell asleep. Naruto looked at the corpse before him before waving a wand making the body turn to dust. One down, he texted the others. I got 5, Loona texted. 6. Millie texted. I haven't found any, Blitzo texted. Naruto's eyebrow twitched as he figured Blitzo was just being where all the alcohol was. 12 down, 8 to go, he texted the others before heading out of the room. Naruto looked as he left the upstairs area seeing men entering the same room in the back. Found the rest of them, he texted. Millie and Loona texted him thumbs up emojis while Blitzo sent what looked like a drunk face emoji. Well, it's not like he can party on Earth every day, Naruto thought with a chuckle as this was the only night that him and Millie could party on Earth without causing a panic. Naruto met up with Loona and Millie at the door but found it to be locked. I'll handle this, he said before becoming red smoke and went through the bottom of the door. Loona and Millie then heard screaming coming from the room and after a few moments Naruto opened the door to show that room was covered in blood from the gore left behind from his attack. Can you believe the head of this family was a midget dressed like a doll? Naruto said. That loser dressed as Chucky? Loona asked. Hey, don't hate, he's one of the few old school horror guy that's still making movies, Millie said. Naruto snapped his finger cleaning the blood off of himself and getting rid of the body's remains. Well, mission accomplished, he said. Yeah, let's go find Blitz and head home, Loona said. The group found Blitzo swinging from the disco ball cawing. Nevermore. Blitzo slurred as he swung. Loona shook her head at this and took a picture with her phone. Send that to Stolas for me, okay babe? Naruto said with a smile as he knew Stolas would get a kick out of this. Loona snickered as she did just that. The group dragged Blitzo behind them as they headed for cover texting Valerie to open the portal. When it opened Naruto flung Blitzo through like a trash bag as they followed. If we hurry we might still be able to go out and get candy and probably give some out too, Millie said with a grin. Yeah, and watch some horror movies, Loona said with a smile at the idea of watching movies with Naruto and her pack. Hoot hoot. Blitzo said before passing out. That upstairs area, I couldn't tell if it was a Halloween party or AF party, though the SXL energy got me stronger but still, Naruto said. You better not have touched any of them, Loona growled not liking the idea of some skank hitting on her alpha. When a guy asks you to join in, the urge to F leaves you. Naruto said with a shudder. Yeah, bisexual is more Frito's thing, Millie said with a snicker looking at Blitzo who was still on the ground. Who called my name? Blitzo asked as he raised his head. Naruto, Millie, and Luna laughed at this as Blitzo was so drunk he thought his name was Fredo. I see you all had fun. Valerie said looking down at Blitzo. Gotta say Halloween is way more fun than I thought it would be. Naruto said with a smile. Yeah, though getting called a furry by humans is starting to get old. Luna said as she was getting agitated over being called that over and over again. Oh, just ignore them, you're fine, Naruto said as he patted Luna on the head. DMN right, I am Alpha, Luna said smirking as she loved the touches he gave her and growled in appreciation. Luna, call me Naruto. In the bedroom you call me that, but outside I prefer you calling me by my name. Naruto said as it was okay for SXL reasons, but being called it constantly was a little much. Nah, Luna said with a teasing smirk. Oh, you're so going to get it later. Naruto muttered. Luna shuddered hearing this. I hope so, she thought, a brief flash of all the punishments Naruto had given her, making her instantly wet. Well, so how did the mission itself go? Valerie asked out of curiosity. Went off without a hitch. It was crazy easy. Millie said with a smile. The door to the office opened and they all saw it was Octavia, who was in a witch costume. Oh, little Octavia, to what we owe the great honor of your presence in our humble establishment. Blitzo said with great sarcasm, not really in a good mood since he was still drunk. I'd like to purchase Naruto's company. Octavia said, simply producing a check. Sorry, but we're not an SCRT service and Looney would maul me if I said yes. Listen here, either give me my date with your employee or I give my dad something extra for his dates with you, Octavia said, holding out a bottle of Viagra, making Blitzo shudder in fear of an even hornier owl prince. Blitzo grabbed Naruto and SHVD him to Octavia. He's all yours. He shouted out of fear. Good imp, here for your trouble, Octavia said as she gave Blitzo a check, causing his eyes to nearly pop out from the amount as well as salivate as Octavia dragged Naruto off. Blitz! Did you just wear out Naruto? Millie and Mayberry shouted in shock/outrage. What the actual F hell? Luna shouted. Hey, 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 hey. I ain't gonna be the only guy whoring himself out to that family. She wants him, she's got him. Blitzo shouted. That's some bull SHT. Luna barked at Blitzo. Oh come on, best case scenario you guys get a new F-buddy out of the deal, plus you know Naruto's loyal, what do you gotta worry about? Blitzo said, sticking out his tongue. The three women growled at him. All in favor of tying this idiot up and hitting him until candy comes out, say I, Mayberry said. I, Luna and Millie yelled. I invoke my veto powers. Blizzo shouted. Get him, Luna barked as they all attacked. Veto. Veto I say. Blitzo yelled as he ran away. With Naruto. Naruto was in a limousine with Octavia. Gotta say I'm impressed you actually bought me from Blitz. Naruto said with a chuckle. Well, the Gosha family gets what it wants, Octavia said with her own chuckle. This isn't gonna end with you scaring me like your dad does to Blitz, is it? Naruto asked. Not unless you want me to. Octavia said breathily. We will see. So where are we going? Naruto asked his date. I got invited to a Halloween party and I wanted to take a date there. Octavia told him. Oh cool, first Halloween party where I'm a guest and not an assassin, though don't I need a costume? Naruto asked. Already have that for you here, Octavia said as she handed him a bag. I swear if it's a gimp suit, Naruto said. Octavia snorted at this but laughed along with Naruto as she had to admit that was a good one. It's not a gimp suit. I promise. Though if you want 1 inch, she started to say as he shook his head repeatedly. Now more like you might need a gimp suit, Naruto says huskily while rubbing a finger under Octavia's chin, causing her to blush and her feathers to ruffle/poof up. The limousine soon pulled to a stop. The two of them got out of the limousine and Naruto saw that this party was in a park and that it was covered in gothic decorations. Okay, there's a bathroom over there where you can change, Octavia said, pointing out said bathroom. Naruto nodded and headed into said bathroom. Octavia waited nearby for Naruto. "Hey Via," a female hellhound yelled as she ran over and greeted her. "Taifa. Wasn't expecting you here. Figured you and Tex would be doing your own hellhound party," Octavia said. "Well, Tex said we should try and interact with other residents of Hell," Taifa told her. A tall muscular male hellhound then walked over and smiled seeing Octavia. "Hey Via, I'm glad you're getting out more," he said as he had heard from Taifa that she was a bit of a recluse. "You alone?" Taifa asked looking around. "No, I brought a date. He's in the bathroom changing into his costume," Octavia said with a small smile. "Your dad let you leave on a date?" Tex asked surprised as he heard that Stolas was protective. "He has my dad's approval actually," Octavia said. "How the hell did he manage that?" Tex asked very curious. Before Octavia could answer, Naruto came out wearing the outfit Octavia bought him. "I feel offended wearing this considering I was a ninja," Naruto mumbled as Octavia was just staring at him in his costume, which was a pirate costume, more specifically Jack Sparrow. "Ahoy matey," Tex said with a chuckle at Naruto. "Nice job on the boyfriend, Via, though I'm surprised your mother is okay with you dating a hellhound," Taifa said. Octavia scowled at this. "Okay, two things. One, he's a hellfox. And two, I don't care what that harpy bee thinks." She yelled, her eyes glowing red from her rage as her mother was basically a bleached crow always squawking. "DMN, that's hot," Naruto thought seeing her passion. "Well, at least you're opening up," Taifa said with a chuckle. "Wait a minute, aren't you that guy dating Verosika Mayday?" Tex asked, finally recognizing Naruto. He didn't hear Octavia growling at the name of the succubus who snagged Naruto's first time. "Yeah. She's in rehab, but she said I was free to date other girls as long as she okays them first," Naruto said, not having any shame in admitting that since he was in hell. Octavia's eyes widened at hearing this. "Relax Via, she already gave you the seal of approval. I believe her exact text was, 'You're going after the heir to the Gosha family.'" "I'm so proud," Naruto said with a chuckle. "Lucky bstrd," Tex mumbled. "What did you say, sweetheart?" Taifa asked with a smile that was anything but pleasant. "Nothing. Absolutely nothing," Tex exclaimed. "Good boy," Taifa said to Tex as she turned to Octavia. "Okay, let's go into the party and have some fun," she said. Octavia took Naruto's arm into her own and smiled. "Yes, let's," she said as she led him into the party with Tex and Taifa close behind. The next day, Naruto walked into the office and was instantly confronted by his co-workers. "So how did your date go? Is she a freak like her dad?" Blitzo asked with a smirk. "No clue, nothing happened, she's still a little shy," Naruto said with a chuckle. "So nothing happened?" Blitzo asked, finding that odd, thinking the apple would drop straight down. "Well, I kissed her and she fainted," Naruto said truthfully and having flashbacks of Hinata from when he was alive. "Give her time, soon she will be scaring you as well as RSNGU, Blitzo said. "So you admit it turns you on that Stola stalks you?" Loona asked. "I will neither confirm or deny," Blitzo said quickly. "Well, you have some new client files to go over, so get to work," Mayberry said, handing Blitzo some paperwork which he took to his office. As Naruto talked to his girls, the TV was on the news. Welcome to 666 News, where we bring you the latest news here down in hell. I'm your host Katie Killjoy. Today we're here to talk about the newest human sinner making a splash in this fiery pit, Naruto Uzumaki. Katie said, showing a pic of everyone's favorite fox demon. In the short time he's been here, this studly young man has made a big name for himself as the top assassin of the immediate murder professionals group. Kate said as various videos were displayed showing off Naruto's skills. But his talents don't just lie in combat, sources also tell us he's not bad in the sack either, just ask pop queen diva Verosika. A picture was displayed of Naruto and Verosika in a heated makeout session. We've also heard news of him spending time with the daughter of Prince Stolas, who's shown to be endorsing Naruto personally, showing he's got some powerful people in his corner. Naruto's also different from many of the sinners we've had in hell, as even in hell he's got a heart of gold. The co-anchor said, showing several of the good deeds Naruto carried out throughout hell, beating down some higher-up demons while defending some imps. And recently we've seen him take out the famed and powerful overlord, Alastor the radio demon. Naruto and Alastor's fight was on display for all to see, the two demons colliding into an intense deadlock. A knock was heard at the door, causing Blitzo to groan. "Oh God, who is it now?" Blitzo shouted as the door opened and three figures entered the room. Three demons soon walked in, and the first was a young woman 6 feet tall with curly long blonde hair. Her lips are black and she has red cheeks. Her eyes are black and her sclera is light yellow. Her eyelids have a contrasting pink shadow. She wore a black bow tie, long black suspenders over a white long-sleeved shirt underneath her red-colored tuxedo jacket, paired with aubergine-colored trousers with stripes at the end of the legs in the same color as her jacket, and black and white spectator shoes. The other girl was shorter and slim with muted lavender-colored skin. Her hair is white, with light pink stripes at the ends, and she wears a big pink bow on the back of her head. Her right eye has an ivory white iris and her sclera is light pink and a pink X on a slate gray eye patch, wearing a pastel goth-style outfit, a white mini-dress with slate gray X's on her bust, similar colored scallop trim to the bottom hem, and a matching belt. She also wears slate gray evening gloves and a choker of the same color. Her right stocking is pale slate gray and her left stocking is pale slate gray, alternately with light pink stripes down the length. One of the straps of her dress is off the shoulder, revealing a slate gray BR or tank top underneath. The last was an effeminate-looking male demon. Hello, is this IMP? A woman asked, walking in. "That's us. Who do you holy super CRP, Blitzo said in shock. "What is it, Blitz, Millie?" and the others froze in shock. "I would like to hire your services," the young woman smiled warmly. Naruto looked at one of the women and felt that she was brightness personified. "Huh, cute," he thought to himself, finding her interesting. Stunned silence. No sound was made as the workers of IMP, barring Naruto, gazed at the people before them. Or more specifically, gazed at one of the people before them. "Hello there. What can we help you with today?" Naruto asked the trio before him, having no single clue who they were. "Princess," Blitzo shouted, falling over sweating. "What do we owe such a great honor? What the F did you guys do now?" Loona growls in a whispered tone, fearing her co-workers had F up royally somehow. "I didn't do anything," Millie said. "What's got you guys so worked up? Isn't she just the daughter of another high-class devil like Stolas?" Naruto said. "Naruto, I know you are new in hell, but how do you not know who she is?" Loona whispered. "Sweetie, that's Princess Charlotte Magna, daughter of Lucifer the King of Hell," Millie said, pointing to the princess. "So that girl's the princess of all hell?" Naruto asked, getting nods from his girls. "She looks like a cross between a businesswoman and a Disney princess," he said simply, as she was exactly as how Naruto described. She had cup melons, curvy body, and nice smooth bubbly peach. Millie and Loona immediately tackled Naruto to the ground, covering his mouth as Vaggie looked over at them, making them think she heard his insult towards the princess. "Naruto, we love you, but please shut the F up," Millie said. "What's wrong?" Naruto asked, muffled by Loona and Millie's hands. "Naruto, she's the third strongest person in all hell, she could wipe us all off the face of existence," Millie said, worried he may say something stupid. "Please let's all calm down. I'm Charlie, as they just told you. This is Vaggie," she said, introducing her friend with her arm. She had low cup melons, athletic body, and a plump thick peach, and this is Angel Dust, she continued, referring to the effeminate man. "Okay, are you sure she's the princess of hell? She seems like too much of a sweetheart for that," Naruto said, a little confused. Charlie smiled at this and giggled, finding Naruto's confusion cute. Vaggie scowled at this as she glared at Naruto in slight jealousy. "Ha! I like this guy. He shows no fear. Angel said. It's 'cause he's both ignorant and retarded, Blitzo said, trying not to get himself and Loona vaporized. Everyone else was fair game though, especially Naruto for having defiled his loony. Please don't be afraid, I'm not here to hurt anyone, Charlie said as she held up her hands in a peaceful manner. Her hands moved, loony duck and cover. Blitzo shouted as he went under a desk. Geez, what's your problem, Blitz? She's obviously here to hire us for something, Naruto asked his boss. He was acting even crazier than usual. Which is saying a lot. I don't want to die, DMN. I have so much to live for. Blitzo shouted. Look, I swear on the 7 circles I'm not here to hurt anyone, Charlie said. I believe you. I apologize for my boss, Naruto said to Charlie. Well, let's get this over with. Who do you need killed, your highness? Blitzo asked. We are not here to have anyone killed, you fool, Vaggy said with a scowl. Well then why are you here? Mayberry asked. Well, as you know, over the years Heavens has been raising its requirements for entrance, and as a result Hell has seen a massive increase in population. My dream is to help sinners in Hell get a fresh start by finding a path to redemption. Charlie said. Wait, you want to open up a halfway house for sinners? Blitzo asked with a raised eyebrow. Charlie nodded at this. Blitzo was silent for a moment before he fell on the floor and started to laugh hysterically. Oh, will you grow the heaven up? Loona asked with a scowl. Can't imagine your parents would be happy with that. Naruto spoke up with Millie covering his mouth. That's right, my parents have let me go on my crusade, but they aren't very supportive of my idea, feeling that things in Hell are fine as they are. If more souls pile up they can just wipe them out. Charlie said. So like most assholes in charge. Naruto thought. So why are you here, your majesty? You know ours isn't the most remediable profession in Hell. In fact we kinda add to the problem. Millie said. Mills. Blitzo whispered, shifting his eyes, causing the female imp to cover her mouth. It's true your company isn't something I would come to, given your less than questionable actions. But I've come here for another reason. Charlie started to say. What's that? Loona asked. Blondine whiskers. Angel said, pointing at Naruto. God DMNIT Naruto, what did you do? Everyone shouted. I didn't do anything. Naruto argued. Did you F the princess of Hell? Was my loony not enough for you? Is there no end to your manwarish ways? Blitzo shouted crazily as he tackled Naruto. Cheryl blushed lightly at this while Vaggy growled and a dark aura appeared around her as she glared at Naruto. Angel Dust laughed at this. Oh, a HRM huh? He asked. Not into dudes, Naruto said firmly. Angel snapped his fingers in disappointment at that. DMN it, he muttered. Okay, let's focus here. What do you need me for? Naruto asked as he finally got Blitzo off him. Well, we are about to finally open up the hotel, but we are having a problem with someone who wants to shut us down, Charlie said. And this someone is? Millie asked, dreading the answer. The Overlord Valentino, Vaggy said with a scowl and wanting to move this conversation along. Blitzo, Millie, and Loona paled at this. Blitzo smacked Naruto upside the head with a chair. The hell, Blitz? Naruto asked as he held his head. This is what happens when you pick fights with the radio demon. Blitzo yelled. Now we are getting offers to be bodyguards for royalty against overlords. Loona barked at Naruto in agreement with her adopted father. Hey, that has had it coming. Naruto yelled. Vaggy rolled her eyes at this and pulled Charlie to the corner. You sure it's a good idea to hire these guys? She asked. Charlie nodded at this. You said we need a bodyguard. And he's already an experienced one with Verosika, and they did a bodyguard job for Stolas. Charlie started. That was against imps. This is an overlord, Vaggy said. And Naruto there has faced an overlord to a draw. He may not be one officially, but he's stronger than most of them. Charlie said, "Look, would you rather I bring in someone who actually has a good heart in hell or leave this whole thing to Alastair?" Charlie asked her lover. Vaggie scowled at this as she knew between the two who the better bet was, but he's a SXL deviant, she said. Okay, two things: one, I can hear you, and two, I am not a SXL deviant. That's this owl pegger here. Naruto yelled as he threw Blitzo off him. How dare you throw me under the bus for things I totally do, man, where? Blitzo shouted. Hey! I don't hit it and quit it. I treat my women right and you know it. Naruto yelled as his eyes turned red and a bit of his power leaked out. Loona, Millie, and Mayberry all nodded at this, as Naruto did indeed treat them like they were most important to him. He treated them like queens, nay, like goddesses. How do I know you won't try and take Charlie away from me? Vaggie asked with a heated glare. I'm not a homewrecker for one, and two, she would probably kill me before you could if I tried anything that she didn't want, Naruto said. See, Vaggie. Just cause he has a HRM doesn't mean he goes after every woman, Charlie said with a smile. Yeah, I prefer to actually like someone. I don't do that as call SHT, Naruto explained. Who's in your HRM? Angel asked curiously. In no particular order: Loona, Millie, Mayberry, Octavia, and one other who's in rehab, Naruto said, trying to keep Verosika's name out before Blitzo could freak out. He wanted both of them here for that reaction. This made Angel gain a surprised look. Wait, Octavia as in Prince Stola's daughter? He asked. You don't know the radio demon but know of Stola's? Vaggie asked the spider demon. Long story, Angel said. Well, he did help me get used to hell for a few years by letting me stay with him, Naruto said with a shrug. Did he give you the brochure too? Angel asked curiously. Yeah, why is that the way to introduce people to their new lives, by the way? Naruto asked Charlie. Cheaper than individual therapy, Charlie said with a frown, as she definitely didn't agree with this. Okay, let's get past politics. What's the job? Blitzo asked. Pretty much we want to pay you to be on call whenever we need you to help us, Charlie said. Naruto nodded at this. I can set up a seal so you can summon me anytime, he said. You have teleportation powers? Charlie asked with wide eyes. I have a few powers. I suppose if I'm gonna be working for you, then you have a right to know. You too as well. Naruto said, as he knew they needed to know his past and his powers. I'll get drinks and food. This SHT will take a while, Blitzo said as he took out a cell phone to order takeout. One long explanation later. And that's everything, Naruto said as he made clones to clean up the food and a rasengan for further proof. So you're from another dimension and are a ninja? Vaggie asked with a quirked eyebrow. While she did believe him after seeing his abilities, it still seemed crazy. It's no more ridiculous than a halfway house for sinners, Blitzo said with a laugh. Charlie frowned at this. Naruto scowled at this and tripped Blitzo with his tail. Watch your mouth, he told Blitzo. What's the job pay? Loona asked, as this was a standard question. Well, since I'm hiring Naruto to be on call anytime, you should be well paid, so how does 25,000 a month sound? Charlie asked. We'll also throw in a bucket of chicken. Angel said jokingly. Sold. Blitzo yelled with a smile as he shook Charlie's hand while drooling at the thought of chicken. Great. Let's celebrate with a selfie. Charlie said with a bright smile. Naruto nodded before Charlie pulled him and Vaggie close while Blitzo took the photo with Naruto's phone. The picture was of Naruto, who was on the left with a smile and a peace sign, Vaggie on the right with an annoyed look, and Charlie in the middle of them with a bright smile and her arms around them both. Got it. By the way, Naruto, who's this contact V that keeps messaging you? Blitzo asked as he was about to go into Naruto's phone to find out. None of your business, Naruto said as he took his phone back. Trust us, when you meet her you'll know, Loona said with a snicker. Oh, so it's someone I know and is clearly in your HRM app. Wait. Naruto, did you get my sister? How did you manage that since I never told you I had a sister? He asked crazily. Relax, I can promise you it's not your sister, Naruto said as he waved his hand as he looked at his phone and texted Verosika. What have you been up to, babe? Her text asked. Not much, made a new friend, Naruto texted back. Don't keep me in suspense, babe, who is it? Verosika texted with an excited emoji. Naruto chuckled at this and sent her the selfie he just took. A few moments later his phone got a new message. Is that the Princess of Hell? Holy SHT. I have never been prouder of you than I am now. The only thing that could top this is if you went after Lilith herself. The message read. Naruto chuckled and rolled his eyes at his girl's response. Relax, babe, we are only friends, he texted. Pfft. Yeah, and I'm a virgin. I give you a month tops before you're screwing around, Verosika texted with a laughing emoji. Well, let's go set up this seal of yours and no funny business, Vaggy said to Naruto with a glare. Okay, relax. I promise I won't do anything funny. Just don't get your panties in a twist, he told her as while he understood her feelings it was getting old. She doesn't wear MPPH, Charlie was saying before Vaggy covered her mouth with a blush on her face. The perv doesn't need to know that. She hissed out to her girlfriend. Okay, let's see this hotel of yours, Naruto said before he turned to Loona, Millie, and Mayberry. You all head home, I'll be back soon. We will be waiting, Alpha, Loona said with a smile at Naruto along with Millie and Mayberry. You sure you're not interested in guys? Angel asked hopeful. No way in heaven. I would rather tongue kiss Blitz, Naruto said with a shudder. Drats. What about you, Impy? You single? Angel asked Blitzo. He's taken by Stolas, so go nuts if you're brave, Naruto said with a chuckle. Well, I may be down for a three-way, Angel said with a smirk. And this is why you're in our hotel, Vaggy grumbled. Prude, Angel grumbled as he followed Naruto, Charlie, and Vaggy out. The four ended up taking a limo back to the hotel. Naruto whistled as he looked at the hotel. Nice place, your family pay for it? He asked curiously. Yeah. You should have seen what it looked like before my new business partner arrived, Charlie said. Oh good, I'm glad there are others who believe in you, Naruto said with a smile as he actually liked the idea of her motel. Unfortunately you and Vaggy are the only ones, Charlie sighed. Wait, your business partner doesn't believe in you? Naruto asked. Vaggy snorted at this and scowled. Not exactly. He said he only paid for this to watch us fail as entertainment, Charlie said unhappily. Naruto frowned at this. Pardon my language, but that guy's an ass. Oh really now, dog boy? A statusy voice sounded from the entrance of the hotel. Oh F my life, Naruto growled as he recognized this voice. Ha ha ha. Hello dog boy. Long time no see. Alastor cheerily stated with his smile. Hey how's the scar? Naruto asked with a smirk at seeing Alastor still had the scar he left him with. Ha! Is that your best line you can come up with? So you scarred my face. Big whoop. Name another thing you've done since, Alastor told him. I became this place's bodyguard, so you're on notice as, Naruto said with a growl. I see you took my suggestion for a guard dog literally. You even picked the one I recommended, Alastor said to Charlie. Why the hell would you recommend the guy who made you run like a ass? Naruto asked. Because I need some form of entertainment when we don't have any sinners here to watch fail, Alastor supplied, helpfully. Naruto glared at Alastor at this as he didn't trust him. Fine, but I will only warn you once this hotel, Charlie, Vaggy and Angel and anyone else here are under my protection. You do anything to hurt them and they won't find your body, Naruto said as he unleashed some of his killing intent. Ha, humorous. Rest assured dog boy, if I wanted to hurt any of them I would have done so already. Alastor said with a sinister head tilt. Naruto glared at Alastor as he for a moment unleashed all of his killer intent, making Alastor pause for a moment. Don't test me as, Naruto said as his eyes slitted. Alastor just smiled at him. You're gonna be such wonderful entertainment, dog boy, he said before heading back into the hotel. Naruto glared after Alastor but calmed down and looked at Charlie, Vaggie, and Angel and saw that Vaggie and Angel were on the verge of fainting from his killer intent and kneeling in the ground. Sorry you too, he said before helping Vaggie and Angel back to their feet. Don't touch me. Vaggie yelled as she started to hyperventilate. Vaggie, calm down. Charlie said as she went over to her girlfriend. Are you okay? What did I do? Naruto asked as he didn't realize the effect his killer intent would have. It's not you, Whiskers, Angel said with a sigh. Vaggie has a past that makes her distrust all men. I won't say what it is out of respect for her privacy, Charlie said as she held Vaggie. Naruto frowned at this as he looked at Vaggie with a bit more understanding. Hey, what the F happened out here? I just saw that son of Abi run through the hotel with a scared look on his face. What the hell did I miss? A voice shouted from the doorway as a demon cat with bat wings spoke up. This made Angel laugh and clap Naruto on the back. While you made Alastor SHT himself, you will definitely be a good bodyguard, he said to Naruto. That was me getting the last word in against the big red peach. Who are you, by the way? Naruto asked the cat demon while also smirking at the fact he terrified the radio demon. Name's Husker, he said before backing away back into the hotel. He did not want to PSS off anyone who terrified Alastor. He liked existing, thank you very much. Well, let's get inside. I'll show you the place so you can set up your seals. Charlie said as she led the way inside, still holding Vaggie close. Later. Naruto had just finished up setting up his seals and sighed as it took a while to finish since this place was so big. Wow, it took you that long to set up a teleportation seal? Angel asked as he dragged from a liquor glass. I set up security too, so if you get attacked I will know and be here instantly, Naruto said. Wow, you don't do anything half-assed, huh? Husker asked as he took a swig of some cheap booze. Not my style, Naruto told them before walking upstairs as he was gonna let Charlie know everything he put in as well as check on Vaggie. He soon found Charlie coming out of a room. How's Vaggie? Naruto asked as he approached. She will be fine, thanks for asking, Charlie said. Well, I can tell you're all good people, so I make it a point to care about my friends, Naruto told her. Charlie smiled at that. Thanks, I'm glad we can trust you and that we have some protection against our detractors, Charlie said. Don't worry. Anyone who messes with this hotel will be considered my enemy. And people don't want me as an enemy. I promise you that, Naruto said confidently. Charlie nodded and smiled at Naruto before she went back inside hers and Vaggie's room. You get all that as? Naruto said, knowing Alastor was around the corner. Ha ha ha. You truly are an interesting one. Alastor said as he came out of the shadows. Stay out of trouble, Naruto said with a glare as he disappeared in a flash of light. Alastor just smiled. We'll settle things one day, Naruto Uzumaki, he said to himself with his smile still on his face. He would never admit it, but Naruto's power had earned his interest and his battle with the unofficial overlord had earned his respect. Back at Naruto's penthouse. Naruto sighed as he teleported into the living room of the penthouse. It had been a very, very busy day. He was looking forward to a night with his lovely ladies. Hey sweetie. Are you ready for a fun time? Millie asked. Sure, that sounds great. Naruto started to answer but stopped as the sight before him made his mouth dry up. Millie, Mayberry, and Luna. All three of his CC girls. All dressed up in salty nun outfits. We heard there was a lust demon in this area that needed help getting relief, Mayberry said while hugging a crucifix in between her chest. Yes, it's a nun's job to exorcise your pent-up lust, Luna said as she licked her lips. Naruto grinned as he undid his pants and dropped them along with his underwear. Then, you better get to work, he said as his pee-pee pointed at them. The three women licked their lips salaciously before the lust demon. Luna was the first one to make her way over to Naruto. Closely followed by Millie and Mayberry as the three women started to lick and tongue his pee-pee and ball. Loona, having been the first one over to him, was eating his PP. Milo and Mayberry and Millie were kissing a TSTCL each while Naruto smirked down at each of them. "Do you three nuns really think you can handle my lust?" Naruto smirked at the three as the roleplay between them truly started. "We will take your lust and banish you back to the depths of hell, demon," Mayberry exclaimed before going back to tonguing his ball. "You three have spirit, I'll say that much," Naruto told them. "Let's see if you can truly stop me though. Should you fail to stop me, I will take over your realm. And you three will be the first of many to worship me over your paltry gods," he shouted with a wicked grin. "We will never be defeated by you," Millie shouted defiantly at Naruto. All of them really getting into the roleplay. Naruto removed his from Luna's lips and slapped Millie with his PP with a grin on his face. "Prove it, sister," he told her. Millie giggled at this and ate at his PP slowly. Loona whined at this before Naruto pet her in the head. Now my pet, you know before the night is over you're gonna get plenty of attention," Naruto said as he growled dominantly. Loona shuddered but tried to keep up with the roleplay. "Why, you'll never break me," she told the demon with defiance. Naruto smirked at this as his girls continued to pleasure him, sharing his PP between themselves. Soon Naruto felt he was about to leak and started to beat his PP in front of their moths. "Prepare yourselves for my offering, sisters," Naruto groaned as his hand moved with intense speed. The three nuns opened their mouths as wide as they could to ingest his offering and hopefully defeat the demon. Once and for all. Yeah! Naruto yelled as he shot his juices on the three nuns, covering their faces and their melons in his juices. The three nuns mmm as they felt the warmth of his juices. "Thank you for this offering," they said together. Naruto, incredibly aroused, took out each of the girls' panties, rubbing them in their PP juices before stuffing them in each of their mouths. Millie had Valerie's, Loona had Millie's, and Valerie had Loona's. Their gowns were yanked up revealing the bare peaches. Naruto took hold of the crucifix that Mayberry held, slapping it against his hand as the girls rubbed their thighs together and wiggled their peaches before Naruto raised the crucifix upwards, looking between the girls. "MMPH. Loona cried out as she felt the hard metal slap her large furry peach. "YMMP. Millie jumped with joy feeling the next strike hit her peach. "MMPH. Valerie gasped feeling her peach swatted next. Naruto channeled his chakra into his cruix causing it to tinge red. He then swung down the religious tool fast and hard across the trio's behinds, each of them and grunting from the hard burning impact of each of the strikes. Whack. Smack. Whack. Smack. Drool and PP juices pooled onto the floor as each woman had corny smile on their faces, also building inside of them as Naruto got up behind them dropping the crucifix. Naruto got up behind Loon rubbing his hands over her peach cheeks before thrusting in her PP making her howl in pleasure while Naruto's tails slapped Valerie and Millie's peaches hard while running over their kitties. Naruto's PP throbbed at this as this was very hot to him. He growled as he picked up Loona and threw her to the floor on her hands and knees. His PP halfway impaled into her CNT. "Wait, you can't. I'm a nun." Loona cried out as Naruto grabbed her peach. "Don't worry. My religion doesn't require versions. My religion requires SLTS for me to plow," he shouted as he thrusted his entire PP into her. Loona shouted, feeling him PND away at her tight TWT. Naruto grinned at the other two nuns. "Gaze upon your sister. Gaze upon what you two will soon be as well," he told them with a malicious grin. "You won't break us that easily," Mayberry said in defiance before a clone of Naruto grabbed her melons from behind along with Millie's, who also had a clone behind her. "Is that a fact, sister?" Mayberry clone asked as he rubbed his PP on her PP making her whine. "Because we'd love for you all to prove us wrong, but remember, the more you scream and the stronger we get," Millie's clone said as the clone rubbed his PP against her PP folds making her "You can't do this, our Lord will save us." Millie as she bit her lip. I think you're delusional. After all, I'm your lord now. The original said as he thirsted into Loona. The two clones pushed Millie and Mayberry to the floor on their backs and mounted them and thirsted into them and started to F them savagely. Oh god, I can't stand it. Take me Naruto. F me like a cheap SLT. Millie yelled, breaking character with a mad grin. The clone slapped her peach as he whispered in her ear. Naughty girl, you broke character. You'll need to be punished, the clone said to her. Millie helplessly as the clone ravished her. Mayberry screamed as her clone F her hard. You like feeling helpless, don't you? The clone growled into Mayberry's ear. And no, I don't. I will never feel pleasure from a demon like you, Mayberry stuttered out in character. Your words say no, but your holy Cienti says differently. Would you like to take my demonic juices and carry my spawn? The Naruto clone growled with a cruel grin. And no please. Anything be but that. Mayberry stuttered out more. Very well, I'll fill you up to the last drop, the clone yelled as he thirsted even harder. Mayberry shouted as she felt him CLMX ins her, making her PP clench at the CLMX. Oh god, I'm sugar. Millie yelled out as she was fully out of character at this point. The clone shouted as her clinksing PP squeezed him tightly, making him leak hard ins her. Loona was panting like AB in heat as Naruto was still ball deep ins her PP. You ready to carry my child sister? Naruto panted as he groped her melons and liked her ear. I surrender. I will worship you as my new god and see carry your demon spawn. She stuttered out in surrender. This nun was broken now. She was his. Naruto smirked and nibbled at her ear. Good girl, he whispered, knowing Loona loved being told this. Loona's eyes widened and she threw her head back and howled as she clinksed. Gaze upon your fellow sister. Watch as she bears my demonic child. Naruto said as he filled Loona's Cienti up with his hot juices. All three girls rode out their orgasms, panting for breath as they laid on the floor. That was fun, we should role-play more often. Naruto said with a smile as his clones dispelled. Definitely alpha, Loona said before groaning at how much he leaked ins her. I may actually be PRGNNT. She said. Relax, I can control when I want to knock you up, so you take my juices as much as you want, Naruto said. Wait, seriously? All three women asked, not knowing that. Well, I figured we could enjoy life a bit before I knock you all up, Naruto said. That's actually part of the plan? Millie asked as she definitely wanted kids someday. Of course. Right now there's just too many variables such as the other overlords. That and I may have promised Verosika having my first child, he explained. Say what? The three women asked him, a little ticked. He already promised Verosika the first chance at having his child. Hey, it was before I met you all, plus it was one of her conditions of going into rehab and actually trying, Naruto said. You had to bribe her to go into rehab? Mayberry asked. It's a long story, but the short answer is yes. Naruto said, sighing. Aw, you care that much? That's adorable, Millie said with a smile. I call having kids after the succubus. Loona shouted. Hoping to have her own litter of pups from her alpha. Now I'm sure we can settle this without fighting, Naruto said. His phone then buzzed and he walked over and saw it was a message from Verosika. Good news, babe, I'm officially sober mostly, so prepare the camera for when Blitzo sees me tomorrow. The message from his succubus lover said. Naruto smiled at this. Not only was his CC girlfriend out of rehab, but they could finally mess with Blitzo about him. His ex tomorrow is gonna be a good day. Loona, I'm gonna need you to film something tomorrow, Naruto. Does it involve me, you, and Blitz's desk? Loona asked with a smirk. Naruto chuckled at this. No, but remind me to plan that later. He said, a certain someone is gonna be stopping by the office building, and since you're the best of us with a camera, I want you to film your dad's reaction, he chuckled out sinisterly. Loona, Millie, and Mayberry all smiled at this as they were looking forward to this. Next day. Naruto and his girls were all driving to work and saw Blitzo was yelling at a pink car from his van with a megaphone. "Move that piece of SHT car. You unoriginal pink juice dump." Blitzo yelled in a megaphone. Not seeing who was in the driver's seat. "Loona now." Naruto told his hellhound lover as she started to film. A woman got out of the car and looked at Blitzo with a flat look. "OSHT. Verosika." Blitzo yelled out in surprise. "Blitzo," Verosika said with an unamused tone. "I should have known it was you when I smelled fish and the nearest ocean is 3 rings down." Blitzo yelled. "Ouch," Mayberry said as. "That was a good burn." "And I should have known it was you when I heard the Amber Alerts," Verosika said. "Pfft." Loona said as she laughed but still recorded. "Nice to see you're still a drunken were. I heard you were in rehab." Blitzo said with a smirk of his own. "It was my life mate who made me go since he was worried about me." "Your sister says hi by the way," Verosika said with a smirk. "Why the hell are you even here? This is my parking spot leased to me." He angrily asked since Naruto paid for his own parking spot and the girls usually rode with him nowadays. Naruto smiled and approached. "There you are. Now get this succubitch out of my spot." Blitzo yelled at Naruto. "Hey V," Naruto said with emphasis so Blitzo would hear. "Hello Foxy." Verosika said with a grin knowing this would piss off Blitzo so much. "V. What? You. And her. And why?" Blitzo shouted, freaking out. "I told you he would freak out," Verosika said. "You were right babe. Speaking of which, Loona, did you get him freaking out?" He shouted to the car. "Got it Alpha." Loona said with a thumbs up. "It was worth the wait." Millie yelled as she ate some popcorn with Mayberry. "You 3 knew." Blitzo shouted still freaking out. "Well done, Naruto tells us everything," Mayberry said. "And I also approved of each one of them for the HRM while in rehab. Especially your daughter," Verosika told Blitzo, still grinning. "JRRR, why the F are you here?" Blitzo yelled. "Aside from visiting my Foxy here. One of the other companies here asked me to work for them for spring break. As sort of a team-building exercise," Verosika explained as she flicked her hair while hugging Naruto's head to her chest. "Just to really piss off Blitzo. Get that pink piece of SHT out of my spot or I'll." "You'll what?" a hellhound asked behind Blitz. I'll call HR," Blitzo said. This made everyone laugh hard, even Blitzo. "Oh man, that's a good one," Loona said. "Hey Tex," Naruto said with a wave. "Yo Naruto," Tex said with a smile. "Anyways, meet my new bodyguard Vortex. Since Foxy here is working for you, I hired a new one. And unlike you Blitzo, he does his job well," Verosika said. "He's actually a good killer babe," Naruto said. "Perhaps you're right. He did always know how to kill a mood. Maybe it translated into assassination," Verosika said, wanting to get the last insult in at Blitzo. "Come on, I want to introduce you to the other girls," Naruto said as he rolled his eyes at his girlfriend's antics. "Sure thing babe. Tada F stain," Verosika said while walking with Naruto and flipping off Blitzo while Vortex kept Blitzo from doing anything stupid. Nice CRP you chose for your HRM Foxy. The pics didn't do them justice," Verosika said with a smirk as she looked at Loona, Millie, and Mayberry. "Nice to meet you ladies, I fully intend to get to know you very well," she said, shamelessly checking them out, and did a few crude gestures like spreading her index and middle finger in a V shape in front of her mouth and wagging her tongue between them, causing the 3 girls to blush slightly. "Really V?" Naruto asked. "Hey, I spent half a year in rehab for you without SEC and I learned from the best," Verosika said as she winked at him, and the girls giggled at that comment. "It's nice to meet Alpha's first girlfriend," Loona said to Verosika. "Alpha? Oh, I like you, Verosika said, liking that Loona showed her man respect. Say if you want to PSS off Blitzo, feel free to call me mama in front of him, Verosika said with a grin. Loona smirked at this and nodded. An imp, Verosika said as she looked at Millie. Millie nodded a little nervous. Relax, I'm not into that hierarchy SHT, Verosika said with a smile, and I dated your B-boss. I can clearly see you're more KNKY, basically built for sin, she said as she could tell this imp had a lot in her. DMN straight, Naruto growled out as he was not gonna let his girls fight for a top spot that didn't exist. Let me rephrase that. I'm not into a hierarchy where Foxy isn't at the top, Verosika amended. And this is Mayberry, Naruto. Ah, the teacher, are you teaching Foxy anything fun? Verosika asked. Well, our music class ended with me learning something instead. I was teaching him how to play the flute. Turns out he can use it in ways unexpected, she said a little nervous. He shved it into your CNT, didn't he? Verosika asked shamelessly. How well did you play it that way? I play all of them like a pro, Naruto said with a smile. Verosika smiled at this and nodded. Hey, where's that new recruit of yours? The princess and her lover, she asked looking around. Babe, I said we are just friends, Naruto said with a sigh. Yeah, and I'm a virgin, Verosika responded sarcastically as they all headed inside followed by Blitzo. So alright folks, that's all for today. Stay tuned for part 3. Do subscribe, like and share for more such videos. Also check out the story and author KFB Anime 87 on fanfiction.net. Press the bell icon to be notified first on release. See you in the next video. Till then, goodbye.